Put your sweats on for me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for ya. Let me lay a great time on ya. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will. Come through and chill.
Eventually. All right, we back. We live. Sorry for that. I apologize. I'll take the bullet on that one. But we good to go. There's no more autotune.
No more autotune.
No more autotune.
No more T-painting?
No more T-painting. Less is love. We live, off the cuff, open talk, all relationship talk. Let's go around the room one more time. Dev.
All right, starting out.
How you feeling, baby?
35, separated. That's my relationship status. And once again, I'm just glad to be here. I'm feeling the energy in the room. Mm-hmm. Everyone's excited. So I'm just good. Let's just make it happen, Captain.
All right.
Go, Couch. How you feeling?
Doing good. Nick, 28, in a relationship with Christ.
Look, all right.
First it was your 3 girlfriends. Now it's Christ.
Hey,
he's like, we deleted that one. I can clean up a little bit.
Hey,
he had to think about it.
Camera, so it's not a warrior for Christ over there.
You had to think about it.
Shit with my Lord and Savior. Got my bonnet of strength on.
Bonnet of strength.
No, it's a bonnet of salvation.
You're right. See, she in a relationship with Christ too. She know. Thank you for getting me straight. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, Veronica.
Let's keep moving around the room. Veronica, welcome back.
Thank you.
2 weeks in a row.
Yes. So I am 39, and yes, I had my nap earlier. Don't say nothing, y'all. And Nick got jokes. So
you IG handle. It was that Polo 4D.
Hey yo, leave my polo handle alone. All right.
But yes, 39, single. No, I do not want to mingle right now. I'm waiting for my kid to graduate high school.
And then you back in these streets.
Yes.
Ooh.
And then it's all about mama.
Right.
Yeah.
As for me, 33, Ricky, y'all know me, married 10 years. All right, let's keep it going from there. Dev, I apologize, but I need you house cleaned for us one more time.
One more again.
Yeah,
One more again.
So look, I'm gonna hit y'all with the Showtime special real quick, man. If y'all been watching us, yo, shout out to the PMP, man, Poor Man's Podcast. Follow him, subscribe on YouTube. Hey, look.
I got a question. Who are you advertising for, man? You are on lessons.
Realize that's what
okay, you just showing love. Okay.
All
right.
Cool. That's my inspiration for the show. The Poor Man's Podcast on YouTube. Subscribe. Like, he got some good content out there. He talks about a lot of different stuff. On that note, show's the Showtime special, man. And with the Showtime specialist, man, if you don't know, if you're watching the show, you like the show, you love the show, you hate the show, whatever the case is, take the time out to go to YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, the platform that you're watching this on. Take that time out to go and like and subscribe. You know what I'm saying? You all's contribution as far as liking, it actually does help us, and it gets us to that next platform and to that next level. You know what I'm saying? So take the time out. You like the show, watch the show. Take that time out to watch us. You know, I'm sorry, not watch us. Like and subscribe. Share. Share. Because all of our content is public. You know what I'm saying? So if you got the time out to share to friends, other Facebook groups that talk about relationships and things like that, yo, show us some love. Yo, we're always looking to extend the family. You feel me? Yo, let's just keep this ball rolling.
Let's keep this ball rolling. Yeah. Okay. All right.
This is a love brought to you by viewers like you.
PBS special.
PBS kids.
and our friends at the BNY Network. All right. Let's get to the bullshit. So we got a couple topics tonight. Just run through it. I'm going to let Nick set the table from there. But just as your host, want to make sure we're all on the same page. Women, can you be the alpha in a relationship? Can a relationship be successful? We're going to define what successful is, too, as well. It's not the same and not be exactly what you think it is. All right. Also, we're talking about Nick Cannon, polygamy, covers issues that in the fire he's been under. And also, we'll also touch on men going their own way, the concept and the scientific method off of that. Mm-hmm. Nick, Set the table for us.
Rachel says, as long as the man does what he's told. Okay, that's interesting.
Oh.
Okay.
Damn, Rachel, we didn't got started yet. I mean, let's have an opinion first. We
Rachel.
just ask the question.
So I'm taking it Rachel is the alpha in a relationship.
Rachel might-
Apparently. Apparently.
So here's the thing, right? And so we gotta define successful relationships by a real tangible marker, right? And the real tangible marker for a successful relationship in this country, in the world in general, is marriage. That's our standard, and the marriage that does not end in divorce, all right, or separation, whatever. You can leave, come back, but as long as you don't get divorced and y'all ride out the success, the marker of success in a relationship is if one of you dies at the end.
True.
All right. If y'all had stayed together until one of y'all died, that's successful. All
That's
right?
a very depressing way to think of it, but okay.
It's a very depressing way to think, but if somebody
very
was there
true.
to hold your diabetic ass hand at 78. I'm right here.
Yeah, 78.
I'm right here,
Got a
baby.
better life expectancy these days.
Damn, right, that's early.
Give me 93.
Right.
Look, people can be as happy in a relationship as they want, as sad in a relationship as they want, as in love as they want, have as many kids as they want. None of that stuff matters because it can all be temporary. It can all go and come away, right? It's all based off emotions. Tangible success is based on marriages or just it's somebody being there at the end of your life with you, right? That's really the marker of it, right? So, can women be alphas in a relationship? I'll say anything's possible. Right, I'd say on the balance of probabilities, anything is possible, right? But I'd say in most relationships, no, and that really women don't necessarily want to be the leader in their relationships. How many women want to lead a man? How many women want to take care of a man?
I don't know any.
Is that right? And
No.
so,
Yeah, I don't
and
know.
I think it gets to a conversation where could you? Yeah, I think we ask a lot of questions where we say, "Oh, I could do this," or "Why can't I do this?" But it's not a "Why can't you?" You can. It's not illegal, but should you? And is that what's best for you personally? Because a lot of times we end up a lot of women, especially in this sort of like modern feminist equality kick, it gets to this space where women start arguing about what they should be able to do and what they can do or what they want to do, and it's like, well, you can and you want to, but is that ultimately helping you get the ultimate outcome you want, which is someone to be there with you for a lifetime. So that's what let's see. Want to become famous by followers? Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's
well,
it.
yeah.
We get spam. Let's go.
Hey,
Don't even
hey.
worry about Snowflake 9592. Like
You ain't make
that.
it till you got spam.
I'll also say this, right? I think in terms of being in a alpha relationship, we also have to talk about finances, right? The financials in a relationship. And I hear a lot of women saying, "Well, I make my own money. I'm independent." Da da da. Why doesn't the man, and women try to use that as leverage in a relationship where men don't necessarily care about women's money? We never really had. Have you ever cared? Ricky, have you ever cared?
Nah.
Yeah. Right. So
It's nice to have your own little spending money, so I ain't gotta throw you a couple dollars just to shut up your holler. But that's old Jay-Z line, by the way.
Yeah.
But nah, I don't. I mean, look at my situation right now. I
Yeah.
mean, Jenny's not currently working, taking care of the kids, and I appreciate her for that.
yeah, exactly. So men don't really care about women's money, right?
And I'm 1,000 there.
Well, yeah.
I like it. I like it.
One, because men aren't like biologically wired to look for women for provision. We not wired to look for a woman to take care of us like that, right? In general. But then also that's like biological. But on the social and practical level, we don't care about your money because we don't have access to it. And I ain't ever dated a woman where I had access to her money. And so so you could tell me, I'll say this, right? Like, I was talking to a friend about this yesterday. It's like,
What's up, Shannon?
I don't think women care about men's money as much as they care about the level of lifestyle and comfort that man can provide. There's not a specific dollar amount. Like 6 figures sounds nice, right? But if a man made $500,000 a year, right? You say, "Oh, I'm a doctor, I'm a neurosurgeon, I make $500,000 a year." You're like, "Oh, okay, shit." But he takes you back to a trailer park, right? And y'all eating oodles and noodles. What the fuck is the $500,000 going? What's that about? It don't matter. You see, it's all about lifestyle, right? So but that's what it's like dating a woman who makes a bunch of money. You make $200,000 a year, cool. Are you taking me to Turks and Caicos? You fly? Am I getting flued out?
Getting
We going
flued
to Paris?
out.
You going to Paris on your dime? If not, then shut the fuck up. I don't care about your money because I don't tangibly have access to it. Okay, so all these women talk about, oh, I make 6 figures. I'm a boss, babe. Yeah, but I'm still paying for the date.
Ooh.
I'm still paying. I'm still funding the relationship. I'm paying for all these dates. I'm paying for all this time. I'm paying for all the trips. I'm paying for all the outings. Okay, so don't throw your money in my face, especially if you're not going to use and give me any. That don't make no sense.
Get
Get that man a chef hat.
Hey, there
But-
it is. All right,
Right
so
now.
hold a second. Let me read some of these comments. The table is set.
The table.
All right, hey, let's enjoy this meal.
Want to become famous by followers?
Hey man, get out of here. You already read that. All right, so Shannon, hey, shout out to Shannon too as well. Exactly, we don't want to lead a man. Shout out to my guy Lamont laughing at you. Rachel, my mom-in-law says that I am leading.
Yeah.
Lamont said you cooking right now too as
Yeah,
well.
thank you, yeah.
And Rachel out there too as well. The other Rachel. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's still the same Rachel. Sorry to my
Rachel
sister.
says, as long as the man does what he can.
As long as the man does what he
he's
can.
told.
So
Does what he's told.
does he's told.
Told.
Hey,
Not
Ma,
can.
Ma, I've seen you work firsthand. I ain't gonna say nothing to the people, but you keep doing what you do.
Yeah.
All right, so
Yeah.
table set. Veronica, can a woman be the alpha in a successful relationship?
Can the woman be she can be the alpha now as far as it being successful. I'm not sure about that. I do agree with Nick in the aspect of no woman wants to necessarily lead a man, because if we have to lead you, eventually it becomes an easy way to disrespect you.
Talk about it.
Come on now,
Talk about it.
let's get it.
Yeah, because I know if I have to take care of a man, if I'm paying bills, like, you literally cannot tell me shit. So
You a
if-
roommate, nigga.
Exactly. You know, if you start talking about, oh, I don't like you going out with your friends, then it becomes, shut up, you ain't paying shit. So I think as
up, Amber?
women, because we're so catty, I don't think it's a good idea for us to be the alpha in a relationship, because, like I said, it could lead to you being disrespectful. But a woman can be the alpha in a relationship. Now, as far as what you were talking about is having access to money or bringing up the money, I think the reason why women started to bring up their money, because something like in the early 2000s, something shifted. Probably before then, but when I noticed it as far as dating and being in relationships, around that time something shifted, because at one point in time that's what it was. A man got a woman, a man took care of his woman, and she made sure the household was taken care of. Even if she had a job, it was still the man was taking care of the woman.
Exactly.
Eventually you had these rappers coming out, blah blah blah, and the video we were watching earlier, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah.
So now women had to prove to you, what am I bringing to the table? That's when you get women. Oh, I'm educated. I got 2 degrees. I make $100,000. I'm independent.
I'm a PhD.
I can pay my own
4
bills.
degrees to the thermometer.
Right. So unfortunately, and I'm going to have to say this, and you may not agree, men, it's y'all fault. Y'all created this monster.
Okay.
And
Is
now,
that why is that?
why did we create? I don't know.
How did we create
You
it?
created this monster because you no longer looked at what a woman was bringing to the table emotionally, spiritually. You started looking at what she could bring to the table financially.
Okay. Well, anyway, I got a rebuttal.
Hey, hold a
Okay.
sec. Before you do, I want to read
got
some of these comments. Hey, the people said you were preaching out there. Amber, what's going on with you? Lamont said the answer is no. Men are built to lead. Amber says Veronica is over here spitting facts. Shannon said, if I'm leading you, that makes me your mama.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yes, it does.
Take notes.
So I'm,
Go ahead.
I'm gonna pass a rebuttal real
It's
quick.
open up. It's open up.
Yeah.
Take it away. Hey, Dev ain't talked yet, but yeah,
Go
gotta go from there.
ahead.
My bad.
You got
But
it.
I'll say this, right? It's like I think what preceded that, Veronica, though, was when you look at what happened with women in the 70s and 80s, specifically black women, right? There were a lot of incentives for black women to get educated and get in school. It finally opened up to y'all, right?
Right.
And I think we finally saw a first wave of black women getting in college, black women getting educated, and great. You know, it's beautiful, right? But the thing with women and the way women are wired is women are always wired to look for better than or more than what they have. You know what I'm saying, right? So if you a woman with a bachelor's degree, now you can't date that nigga that work at Jiffy Lube. You can't date the nigga that work at Royal Farms or just some, just
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You become a woman who now needs at least to do with the bachelor's, or preferably a master's.
Right.
You're a woman that makes, it's let's go 90s numbers, but you making, you got a college degree and you making $60,000 a year in 1989. You feeling real good about yourself. Well, you can't get with Jimmy up the street that make 25,000 making $15 an hour somewhere.
Right.
You can't do because you're wired to look for more. And this is kind of like, this is the whole crux of it all, is that like as women go up in status and women go up in income and up in education, their options get smaller.
A lot smaller.
Whereas a man who's educated, successful, rich, he can now date anybody. A man's not looking for a woman that's better than him. A man's not even looking for a woman that's bringing what he's bringing to the table because he's already got it.
Right.
If I got 64 ounces of steak, I don't need your 64 ounces. I got all the steak I need.
Right.
So I'm not even looking for that, right? So that's the thing is women thought like, oh, if I like skew high, then all the men in this bracket will now want to fuck with me. When all the men in this bracket can literally fuck with anybody. Woman. And again, we choose women off beauty, off femininity, off cooperation, off age and fertility. That kind of, these are the kind of things that men choose wives on, in terms of commitment. Now, fun girls who you just want to sleep around with, that could be anybody.
Right.
You go, there's some bad 50-year-olds on Tinder right now who could go take a nice night out. But there are.
Looking for a spin.
Yeah, looking for a spin. But in terms of women who you're like, okay, this is about to be my wife, that's a whole different process in a man's mind for choosing. We compartmentalize. There's wives, there's girlfriends and wives, and there's everybody else.
Right.
Everybody else can get it. They get it once or twice, they can get it.
She ain't gonna get it for a lifetime.
Not gonna get it for a lifetime. And so I think it was one of those things where women got educated, and then I think you're right. I think men did start asking in certain ways, what are you bringing to the table? And women responded with finances. Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily what men pick women on. So that's kind of, I think we're kind of at it was like a generational miscommunication. You know what I'm saying?
I can agree with that.
Yeah.
Dev, can women lead in a relationship, being an alpha, and to be successful for multiple years until death?
Just as you guys both have said, man, I ain't really got a whole lot on that. For real. Y'all touched on it, honestly, you know what I'm saying?
Me and Veronica.
But what is your opinion?
Can?
Yes.
Can.
Like possibility.
It can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you said, on what's that, Murphy's Law?
Balance of probability.
Anything that can happen will happen.
Yeah.
Right.
It can happen. Absolutely. Of course. You know what I'm saying? Look, what's that, Oprah and Stedman Graham?
Yeah.
You know
She
what I'm
running
saying?
that.
Right.
Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade.
Yo,
Right.
She running that.
You can't tell me that Stedman walking around that house with big pants on, telling Oprah to shut the hell up, go make me a PBJ.
I mean, if I was
Hey, girl, where
Stedman,
my dinner?
right? If I was Stedman, I'd shut up too.
You know what I'm saying? So
Stedman even alive?
Yes.
Niggas ain't seen Stedman
Yes.
since 2004.
Stedman is alive.
Nobody's aware of Stedman's whereabouts.
He's in his little house. You know that she had
seeing
him.
him.
look, Stedman is the underground, the unknown Morgan Freeman. He just doesn't age for some reason.
He looked the exact same way.
But he's always there whenever they pop up on the red carpet. Like, damn, that nigga.
Hey,
he
he
been
doing
45 for the
something
last-
right. He's doing something right.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So
Stedman,
look,
if you okay, blink twice.
Right. No, but Stedman, what Stedman did was Stedman did what most women would admire in a man and make her want to stay with a man. He stayed with me when I was fat.
Ooh, true.
He stayed with me when I lost weight. He stayed with me when he's just stayed.
He was there.
He was there.
He was a steady man.
Right. He was a
Stedman.
steady man.
look,
The
he-
Stedman.
Right. He never wavered. He never got wearied or tired. You know,
So
that we know of.
So let me set the scene real quick. Let's set the scene.
You bet your
Let's bring
Stedman
it
getting
back.
caught cheating with some big Oprah.
That'd be it.
Stedman
Game
know
over.
damn well not to do that.
Nah.
Stedman cheated.
That we know of. that we
was in
don't.
the media for a couple of years.
Debbie cheated.
Look it up.
Wait, was it when she was big or small?
That now it was definitely early Oprah.
Okay,
Oh,
when she was big.
this man-
Okay.
All right, so let me set the scene. So everybody here says that you don't believe a woman could be the alpha in a relationship and it be successful.
Yeah.
All right, we define
Yeah.
success as you actually living until death do you apart.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
not what I define as a success, though.
Okay,
What would
before
you define
I
as
set the scene, go ahead.
I want to hear that.
Basically, I mean, yes, marriage in this country and in other parts of the world, success in a relationship is marriage and living till death do you part. However, me personally, if I got to deal through drama until I die, that's not a success for me. That's just a fucking nightmare. You know, so that's not successful to me. That is just, you know, I died hating my relationship. Like, that's not successful to me. Success to me is when, if you leave this earth, you can honestly say, you know what, I had the best relationship ever, or I love this person, I was happy. That to me is successful. You have a lot of old people that stay together because now they old. Like, who else is going to deal with them? They can't fucking stand their spouse, and they can't wait till they die to get away from them. That's not success. That's not success. You just had a relationship. That's it. Not a successful one.
Okay, so let me put it like this, and I have seen the situation happen several times, and you can tell me your opinion of it. You have a woman who clearly is leading the relationship, and the man is he's in the back seat. All right?
He on some happy wife, happy life type stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my lord.
All right, okay, so that we've seen that several times. All right, she goes out and about. She meets a man who she sees is above, you know, as we said, another man that's, you know, on a different level playing field than her. What usually happens in that scenario?
She bounces.
She walks out.
I've seen almost every single time,
And that's
why we ask this question.
And that's part of the reason why I think, like, in general, when a woman gets with a man who she's if a woman's with a man that she has to lead, it's by nature settling. You get what I'm saying? If a woman's with a man that she has to lead, by nature that she's settled for that man. It was he kind of brought, she was comfortable. It was comfortable. She was lonely, but she didn't really have a burning desire to be with him. This was the nigga that was just sitting in the friend zone for 18 years, biding his time.
Right.
And then she was like, come on, nigga, you're just happy to be there. You're a little puppy. So but like when a woman's with a man who she truly desires, she's going. I've seen it happen dozens of times where women that you would think are, incredibly dominant, masculine, very A-type personalities, they get with a guy who they see as like a guy who they want to be with, a guy who they genuinely desire, and they go naturally submissive. They go naturally into that.
And these are facts.
They fall naturally into that submissive.
Seen it
role.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Boyfriend, fiance, husband, don't matter.
I will definitely, as a woman, I will agree with that.
Yeah.
I will agree with that. And it does go back to what you said. It's creating that lifestyle that you want. But also it comes when you have to learn the lesson, like your mother tells you, everything that glitters ain't gold. So you get with this man that you desire because he can provide this better lifestyle, but you're always going to lack something. Even if he can provide the $500,000 house you want, he may not provide the time you want. Even though he could buy you the car you want, he may not provide you the affection you want. So it all comes down to, what are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah. Or you got time and affection,
Right.
but y'all niggas live in a shoebox.
Right. What are you willing to sacrifice in order to have everything you want? Because no relationship, I don't think you're going to get everything. There's always going to be that 80-20 thing going on.
Facts.
But the thing is, what are you willing to sacrifice in order to have that 80% of what you want? Me personally, like I said, if we living in a shoebox, we're not going to live in a shoebox. I don't give a fuck if I got to get 2 jobs. We ain't living in no goddamn shoebox. But the point is, you better have some time, because eventually, if you ain't spending your time with me, I'm going to find my time somewhere else.
Yeah.
So
In that hotel room.
by myself.
The weekend
So-
Hey, listen,
getaway.
if your girl got a hotel room by herself, focus on yourself, King.
By myself.
Focus on yourself, King. Let's say, yeah.
But-
Her name the only name on the docket.
Right.
She wasn't the only one that slept there that night.
It might not even be finding my time with another man, but it's just a thing that I'm going to start taking my own time and doing what I want to do, whether it be hanging with my friends or whether traveling or whatever the case may be. And then you're like, well, you never at home. No, you're never at home. I just caught up to. I'm treating you like you treat me, and you don't like it. So it all, like I said, it all comes down to what are you willing to sacrifice to have that 80% of what you want.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
And this is one I want to ask too as well. So we've all kind of touched on it. You touched on it a little bit there too as well. That the husband that's the happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
Wherever she wants.
Trash.
Yeah, we'll make it happen.
That is not trash.
Here we go. We're going with Dad first. What's your opinion on that, and what advice would you give to these individuals?
That's a terrible, terrible saying.
Why?
And it needs to disappear.
Explain.
Because first of all, for a lot of people nowadays, when they hear that terminology, women in general are, and you can say you disagree, whatever. Women tend to be narcissistic because women are very self-preservative beings.
I take offense.
You know, and that's understandable. We can disagree. You know what I'm saying? We can have a conversation about it, right? But if you look at it from a very animalistic standpoint, no woman, no female in the animal kingdom deals with a man that is subservient to them, right? None. Even if you talk about lions, I like to go back to lions, like the prides and shit like that.
Gorillas
No
and shit.
pride, no lion,
Silverback.
with a pride of lioness are going to maintain that pride if he can't stand up and he can't take care of them, right? It's not about their happiness. It's about what he can do. If he was concerned about their happiness, he wouldn't be concerned about protection. Because your energy in that situation, he's got 9, however many lionesses he's got to make happy. If you're focused on that, making her happy, what time do you have for yourself and what time do you have for protection? So the whole notion of like happy wife, happy life, it's a very, very nihilistic, narcissistic mindset that women have been allowed to perpetuate. And men have, because men are just very physical and they want the pussy. And so a lot of men will just literally just
Cosby.
do, they'll just do whatever
Put your
it
pussy on lock,
is.
get $1,000.
Amber told you to shut up, by the way.
Shut up, nigga. You ain't here, so whatever. You know what I'm
You can't
saying?
even drive.
You know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
okay, Amber. I'm gonna get them
Got
all.
tires that work.
I am going to get them all.
Hey, one time for the Instagram handles. Keep going, Dad.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like when we say happy wife, happy life, I think that's a very what can I say? Like as far as-
Egotistical?
it is. It's because it takes away from what should be occurring in a relationship, in a marriage. If you're talking about wife, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus.
I think also the problem is that it's one-sided happiness.
But and that's where I'm going.
It's happy with happy husband. Husband
hold
don't
on.
rhyme with nothing.
Exactly.
So,
Hold on, we watched the same jump. We watched the same jump. I know we did. I can't remember his name.
What?
Entrepreneurs in Cars.
hey, Rich
Yeah.
Cooper. Yo, Dev and I's YouTube feed is identical. I'll tell you that right now. Dev is getting red pills day by day. And it is hilarious.
Yo, because there's literally no saying that speaks towards
A man's happiness.
A man's happiness. And if you like how very like self-absorbent is that saying that because I got to keep my wife happy, that is the only way my life is going to be happy. I don't know. That's just a weird way to look at any relationship, whether it's not even wife, just your girlfriend, whatever the case is. If you have to actively work to, and see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with happy wife, happy life, right? Right? I'm going to break this down real quick.
Go for it.
Veronica, yes, your happiness is predicated and dependent upon who?
Me.
Okay, boom.
Yeah.
Do you hear the contradiction right there?
Yeah.
So I gotta make you happy, but women would acknowledge that their happiness is dependent upon themselves.
Yeah.
So if there's a marriage or a situation where you're not happy but you're looking to me to make you happy, well, then you're literally not doing the happiness and taking care of yourself.
But damn, you also have to take in consideration. I am single. You have to take that in consideration.
You answered the question. You answered the question because the question was a fact. The answer was a fact. Individual happiness is based on
yourself.
Exactly.
So to say happy wife, happy life, that means that I got to do my part to make you, another individual, happy. That's narcissistic in nature because you're telling me that it's about me. And if you aren't doing something to make me happy, your happiness isn't based on me. Your happiness isn't based on what I provide for you as far as emotional and all that type of stuff. If you are unhappy in a marriage, you got to go out, you got to make yourself happy. Because a better you, a happier you is going to make us a happier couple. So this whole notion that because you're not making me happy or I'm not doing it for you or you're not doing it for me, that's the only way we're going to be happy, or that's what contributes to it. No, bro, that's a very damaging mindset because there's nothing on the other side that goes towards happy king, happy fling. What I don't know. There's nothing that, you know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't exist for men.
Oh my God.
Let's read this comment for Amber real quick.
Amber.
Hey, now Nick, I'll let you attack from there. Then Veronica, you do your thing.
Lord Jesus, change the atmosphere.
Amber says, I don't think it's necessarily
Happy
the type
nigga.
of happiness that they're
It doesn't exist.
the happiness that they're talking
Pull the
about.
trigger.
Oh my God. I think it's more so on meet her emotional needs in a relationship, and there'll be less issues.
Yeah.
Meet my emotional needs, and there'll be less issues.
Yeah, well, I mean, like it's. I'll say this, right? Like I think it can be taken as that. I think it can be taken as what. And I think like, as a man, you should be attentive to your woman's emotional state.
Of course.
I think everyone knows that. Like,
100%.
you can't be in a relationship and just be like, all right, bitch, whatever. Like, that's not gonna work.
You unhappy? Go to the motherfucking spa.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
But-
Nah, come on, dog.
But the
We ain't
phrase-
talking
I mean,
like that.
someone would appreciate
You
that too.
have
as well.
some
I
men
mean,
that do that. Right.
You want? Hey, give a couple $, just shut up or holler.
Throw 300. You're good.
But
Bye.
when you look at the phrase "happy wife, happy life," the place it's used in the context used it is typically placating towards a woman's whims for something materialistic. Right, it's like no, that's what no. I'm saying that where the phrase is used typically, right? It's like gotta get my wife needs a new car. Oh well, happy wife, happy life. Like
That's how it's said.
That's how
Absolutely.
it's that's how it's said. That's how men say it to each other at least. That's what I'm saying.
You turn to a sucker.
Return to a sucker. We're my wife wants to go to Paris. Well, happy wife, happy life. Gotta take her to Paris. That's how. It's not sex. I feel like men are just easier to have their needs met than women.
100%.
Yeah, men don't have a ton of needs. But here's also
It's like 1 or 2.
No, some of y'all do. Some of y'all are like
I disagree
children.
with that. I
Some of
disagree
y'all
with
are
that.
children.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Oh, okay.
And I disagree with
It
Amber.
depends on the man.
Yeah,
It depends on the man. We'll say it depends on the man. But what I'll say with the phrase "happy wife, happy life" is like, it's not that like, yeah, obviously you I feel like the problem with
Shout out to the
our
comment
views
section.
our views on marriage in the West in general is that we're worried about people's that we're really prioritizing individuals' emotions, and emotions are temporary. Happiness is a temporary thing. Happiness is fleeting. You eat a candy bar, you're happy. You get a raise, you get a bump on your salary, you're happy. It's a spike, and then it's like, ooh, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's you can't the trying to maintain happiness is what addicts do. Their dopamine, that's like, oh man, you know what makes people really happy? Crack. Makes people really happy.
So you think it's constantly looking for a high, wherever that high is.
Chasing a high.
So I can, and so like doing crack for 15 minutes will make you really happy. But if you try to make your whole 24 hours doing crack for 15 minutes, what do you reach? Addiction. You reach nothing. You've destroyed your life.
You hit a plateau.
Well,
Yeah. And
I don't-
let me
Go
finish,
ahead.
let me finish the point. And so what we should be focused on instead of happiness is contentment. And contentment comes from attempting to achieve goals. Long-term goals that you set out for yourself. That's what
relationship.
So contentment says, man, you may say, look, I'm not happy in this moment, but me and this person are trying to raise a child together. We set out on a goal to raise a child together, and that's what we're doing. So in this moment, I may not be happy, But I know in the long-term goal, when I see that child walk across that graduation stage or walk down an aisle or have their first child, that's where my real happiness is.
That's joy at that point.
That's joy. That's
Like
That's
contentment.
what Lamont just said.
Yeah.
Joy and happiness is a difference.
Exactly.
Right.
Yes. And so it's real contentment. I think, again, like when we focus on like happiness or feeling good, again, trying to feel good moment to moment never actually leads to doing what feels good moment to moment doesn't lead to anything that's really good.
Sustainable. It's not sustainable.
Yeah, I mean, I love Popeyes. If I eat Popeyes 24/7, I'm gonna just be 1,000 pounds. I'd be happy every moment, but I'd be making myself miserable in the process, and I'd never actually achieve what I wanted to, and then I'd die miserable. So it's about being. So it's about part of being an adult is understanding that, like, yeah, in this moment, this shit sucks. Shit's gonna be a grind, but at the end of this grind is something that's so fulfilling and so rewarding that I'm going to leave this planet knowing that I accomplished what I set out to do.
Right.
Yeah, so that's what I got to say. Anyway.
And real quick, if you're out there watching Lamont share, shout out to you, Amber too as well. Hey, make sure you share the podcast. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
Share the
please
pod.
do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everybody in the comment section.
Hey, give it a like, a heart, all that. Give it a share. It costs you nothing. Veronica.
So my thing, first of all, you brought up the lion and the lioness, and the thing about protection. One thing you have to understand about the lion and the lioness is the lioness, they hunt.
Yes.
They go out and they hunt for the food. So in that aspect, the protection would be their happiness because he's fulfilling his role. You're making sure I'm protected, and in return, I'm bringing food. I'm providing you with what you need. So I think that the term "happy wife, happy life," it's just all about. If you make your wife happy or joyous or content, in return, she will do the same for you. You have to think of what some women do in their marriage. Not all, but most. They take care of the kids when you don't feel like it. They have your children, which is a life-threatening situation. Most women, even though the man goes out and makes the money, she sits down and goes over the bills, handles all the phone calls from people, handles the business. So basically, she's being your personal assistant in certain ways. She's making sure your clothes are clean. She's making sure you got food to eat. She's making sure that you are sexed real good. So the thing is, when you say happy life, happy wife, it's the thing of, it's not a selfish thing. It's that look at what your wife is providing for you. It may not be finances, but if she providing you with everything else, then that is not selfish for you to do something to make her happy.
I agree.
You know, because as a wife, men that want wives and not trophy wives, you require a lot of a woman.
Oh, absolutely.
You require a lot of a woman. If you ask most men, what do you want out of a wife? Oh, can she cook? Can she clean? I want somebody to take care of my kids. I want somebody that's going to be my backbone. I want somebody and then you got all this list. And then if you ask a woman, what do you want in a husband? Their list is provide, protect,
penis.
And yeah,
Really?
3 P's.
Really?
good penis.
That's cap right there.
Right,
bro.
so, I
Come
mean-
on now.
Dick down.
Yeah, so the
That's
thing,
not even close to being true.
right, a good father,
That's
but
not even close to being true.
right, but the thing,
Which part?
Look, hold on. She literally said,
She said provide,
she
protect.
Provide, protect.
She flipped it. Y'all remember those? Y'all seen those memes? How you make a man happy? Sex, sandwich, shut up.
Yeah.
Right? That's just a meme.
Yeah.
For women, it's emotional support, spiritual support, mental support, provision, house, home.
But honestly,
you literally just flipped the
I understand
script
what you're
and
saying.
said,
But the thing is, honestly, as a
it's
woman,
not that simple for women.
honestly, as a woman, even though you won't admit it, women have to provide that for men too.
Yeah.
You will never admit it, but women do provide emotional support for a man.
Absolutely.
That is facts, though.
Yeah, we provide spiritual support for a man. We provide everything you just listed. We provide for a man on top of dealing with your crazy ass kids.
That's why the saying is detrimental,
'Cause it
because
should
it's a
be-
very one-sided saying.
But I
What
don't
saying?
think the saying needs
happy
to be
wife,
said.
happy life. You just said that
But
women have to provide that
let's
for
go
men.
back. Let's
That means it goes both ways.
Let's go back to last week when I said that the man said anything you give a woman, she will multiply and give back to you.
That's
Yeah, that
facts.
was a bullshit saying though. No, it's not.
Hey, Jose, let me read some comments real quick. Hey,
bullshit.
Hey, Nick, you got a fan of Lamont. That boy good. That boy all right. That boy good.
Me and Lamont on the same wavelength. I see you, player.
Hey, Amber, what you talking about? We ain't giving him any coochie. In regards to what? Expand on that.
Because you'll see what she was talking about leading up to that.
Oh, I want to expand on that too as well. We move forward on that one. Sarah, shout out to Sarah. I know if my husband isn't happy, I do my due diligence to see what I could do to change that because I want to see him happy. All right. And then of course Veronica got a couple fans in the comments section.
Yay.
Yeah, that's her.
Women gonna stick up for women. I'll say that.
You're damn straight.
but
Hey, shout out to the sisterhood.
You straight up.
You doing your thing. All right.
That's the whole point.
All right, so Veronica, continue.
But that's the thing about multiplying and giving back to you. So I don't see why it's a problem to say happy wife, happy life, because the thing is, if you give her what she needs, then she's always going to turn around and give you what you want.
That's not true.
Then you need to stop messing with the women you messing with.
It's not even just.
Whoa, where that boxing bell at?
Hold on.
Hit that thing again.
Right, real quick. Hold on, real quick. All right, okay. I don't know anything. Hold on.
Shots fired.
I don't know anything because I don't know anything about Jeff Bezos. I don't know anything about Bill Gates. I don't know anything about these billionaires' lifestyles.
But
right?
I'm a speaker on them.
But what I will say, if you're going to sit here and tell me that men, because again, we can talk about numbers right now, 60% of the divorce rates that's initiated are by women.
80%. 80%.
Oh, it's gone up. Okay, thank you. So you're not going to sit here and tell me that there are so many men out there that are not providing all of these things for their significant others. It's just factually untrue.
It's a lot of men out here that are not providing what women want.
Hold on. I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
Men go to the extra mile to provide for their women, right? If you're really committed and you really feel for this woman, it's not just my situation. It's all men in general. When you decide that this is who you want to be with, and you make a conscious decision, men, I tell anybody, the moment that I decided that I was going to propose to my wife, I had already, before I even bought the ring, bro, I had went through a whole mental thing where I was like, am I okay with this? First of all, giving up all those little shorties and okay, I'm okay with that. Am I okay with being the man that she needs me to be, that she wants me to be? Well, if I'm not there now, I'll definitely work towards getting there. Am I going to provide? Well, I got a good motherfucking career right now. Okay. You go through the checklist as a man when you get to that point. And then you're okay. Most men, I believe, go through that checklist in their own mind and say, you know what? I want to be the best me that I can be for them. So that doesn't mean that we're perfect in that. But it does mean that a genuine man in a marriage put forth the necessary effort to be that for women. Okay?
I think you're right.
So I bring that up because you'll have a lot of men. Jeff Bezos' wife, she was with him before Amazon was a thing. She literally was working with him out of their garage.
Doing it, putting in work.
So you can't tell me that for all these years he wasn't doing the necessary steps to please her, because she was there at the bottom and they literally came up together. And it got to a certain point where happiness wasn't contentment, like you said. The happiness was, I'm just not happy in this. But you're not going to sit here and discredit the past 30 years that I invested in you, lady, my wife. You're not going to say that was all for nothing, that I wasn't doing the things that's necessary. So that's why it's a very nihilistic mindset to say happy wife, happy life, because there are plenty of men out here that are doing the most for their women, and they are still getting dragged at the end of the day because a wife's happiness has been prioritized over the marriage, over the union, because we tell ourselves, if I don't make her happy, and if she says to herself, if he's not making me happy, how can you be unhappy with a man that you've been with for 30 plus years and you all are the richest couple on the planet?
Easily.
When they separated, she became the wealthiest woman on the planet. when they separated.
And married a science teacher.
But you and then married a science teacher.
Who's running their relationship?
But for 30 years, for 30 plus years, they were together. They were building. They were growing.
Now, hold a second, Dev. You capping right now. He was cheating out here with a. He had his own girl on the side too as well.
And if you,
I mean, it's not act like this man was loyal for 30 years.
He was exercising options.
If you think she wasn't slinging with letting the pool boy sling, you capping too.
Yeah.
Hey, we ain't say that. Hey, come on now, talk on it. Talk on it. Let's go.
If you think she wouldn't let the pool or whoever it was slang and bang, you capping right now.
Slang and
because
bang.
that's what rich. When you at that level, that's what they do. The tennis instructor for the wife.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Help with that backswing.
That backstroke.
And he behind it. No. You got to do it like this. And she's like, ooh, like
that?
like this.
Like
Yeah,
that?
Stop playing, bro. Like she was getting her mans. She was getting her mans. It's just that
Bobby,
he
tennis
was
instructor.
dumb enough to get caught. Because that's what men do. Men get caught. That's what
Yes, y'all do.
we're just done. We're terrible with this shit. But look, the whole happy wife, happy life. You can't sit here and tell me that with the divorce rate being 80% at this point, that every man wasn't doing their due diligence to try to make their shorty happy. It's just statistically untrue.
Hold on, let me get some comments real quick. Then Nick, you got after that. All right, so Sarah says, I'm struggling with the idea of roles, quotation marks. I feel like a marriage is a partnership. When I'm down, my man picks up the slack. When he's down, I pick up the slack. We should be supporting each other the same. I'm gonna let you touch on that too. Is when it's your turn to speak.
I'm gonna touch on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lamont and Amber struggling with the day of the week, and Shannon. And Shannon said, I'm exactly right.
Hey, did I get a comment from Lamont?
Yeah, screenshot that shit. Screenshot that shit.
Hey, I get a high quality.
Listen, I got.
All right, go couch.
Okay. Let me see this. Listen, first, I gotta think, right? I think women say that women are better cheaters than men, right? That's a typical.
That's the belief.
That's the belief, right?
That's the
believe women
That's
are
the
better
belief.
cheaters, right?
Is that okay?
No,
All right, yeah.
I think men are better mistresses than women.
Yeah, because they know how to shut the hell
Yeah,
up.
exactly.
Solid.
Your side nigga came in.
Right.
Listen, here's the thing. Every side girl wants to be the main.
Mm-hmm.
Every main nigga wants to be your side nigga.
Yeah, because they know they play.
Main nigga wants, even if if I could just be dick only, dick in the ear to listen, I would love that. That's the problem. Like y'all, oh yeah, women are just better at cheating. No, niggas just better about shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, they shut
You know
up.
how many friends I had where their side chick them pulled up to their house on their wife?
It's true.
Facts.
But
It's
let
true.
me stop you there. That's y'all fault.
It is his fault. It's the man's fault. But I'm just saying, like the idea. I'm just talking about the idea that women are better cheaters. Nah, just side niggas just like they came, they dropped dick off, they came, they Uber Meats. They said, "Here you go, thank you, here you go."
Shout out to Uber Meats.
I should.
But it is y'all fault.
You ain't never heard a side nigga confront the main nigga like, "Hey yo, ain't she mine now?" She
In the
moving in with me.
DMs.
Yeah.
But y'all created that situation of the side chick thinking she's in a role that she's not.
No. You
No,
tell
it's
the
women.
side
No, that's
Nature,
cap.
man.
No,
That's cap.
No.
That's cap.
I will say, I knew a guy once. I met a guy and we were actually dating. And the first thing he ever said to me was, "This is going to feel like something it's not." No, motherfucker, make me feel like what it is.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't make me feel like I'm your girlfriend when I'm not your girlfriend. Because if you make me feel like I'm your girlfriend, I'm going to act as if I'm your girlfriend.
You know what though? That's true.
That's
That's very true.
So
There's no lie
know,
with that.
I know men that allow their side chick to go through their phone. No. I know men that allow their side chick to have way more access to shit than they should have, and they allow them to be disrespectful. Me as a woman, if I'm in a relationship, my side dick, no, he's just that. I call you, you don't call me.
Hey, Dan, would you
don't
read this
call me.
comment from Shannon, please?
Hold on.
Emphasis.
You right.
Take a look at this.
Shannon
Shannon.
Shannon going in right now. Look.
Hey, Shannon, by the way. Hold a second, real quick. Shannon, I text you, invite you to the podcast. You need to text me back. Just want to throw that out there.
Shannon, come through.
I'm calling you on
Shannon.
FCC airwaves.
Look, Shannon says, man, look, niggas should be selling the dream for the cat. Y'all believe that?
Yes.
True, absolutely.
Yes.
100.
Listen.
Yes. Yes.
Listen, but women also buy the dream. That's the
Yeah,
problem.
but the thing is, what am I supposed
sell the dream to a non-buyer.
What am I supposed
It's like
to
Nick
go
Cannon.
on other than what you say?
Well, whose fault is it if you believe that Harry Potter is real? I'm just saying. Whose fault is it at this point? I'm selling you a reality. I'm selling you a movie. There's wizards and dragons.
I mean,
If
but
you
that
believe shit is real-
that does come with age, because now if you come to me, oh, I'm trying to do this, show me. I don't want to fucking in your mouth. You know what I'm saying? But when you a young girl, when I was in my 20s and you got a man spending money on you, taking you out, he taking you there, taking you around his family, even though you're not the girlfriend, and he's still taking you around his family.
That nasty.
There are mistakes made.
Yeah,
I will take.
he's
I will.
still
Mistakes are
taking
made.
you around his family. His family all know you ain't the girlfriend, but they smiling in your face, hey baby, but they know you not the girlfriend. You thinking you in a place
That's
that
true.
you're not.
I agree.
That's why.
Now, hold
Women
a second.
Women gotta stop thinking if they meet your mama that they
Yeah, that no
Nah,
longer
you gotta stop. You gotta
matters.
stop that. You gotta stop
That
that.
used to be the move.
Yeah, that
Hey,
no longer matters.
Going with that thought, let's switch over to Nick Cannon too as well. Y'all heard
Okay.
him on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, shout out Nick Cannon.
And you heard Nick Cannon talk a lot about the different women that he's had intercourse and babies with.
So Nick Cannon made this point where he said, look, Nick Cannon said Nick Cannon is a master game player.
It was all. Yeah,
He's a
talk about it.
wordsmith.
He's a master
That's all.
wordsmith.
That's all. Man.
Nick Cannon said, I'm not in charge of these relationships. The women are in charge. I didn't force them to have the babies. They wanted to have the babies.
Nick Cannon is a smart man.
Nick Cannon put all. Listen, let me prepare my.
Hey, prepare. Hey, Amber, let's get it. Let's get it.
Listen, but here's the thing, right? And I think the thing that Nick Cannon addressed, right? While it was game, I think we have to also recognize the fact that that women do make a conscious effort to be with a man. Y'all make a conscious effort. Y'all make a conscious effort. Look, here's the thing, and people go over this all the time, right? But niggas got two options: wear a condom or pull out. That's all we got.
That's
right?
it.
And we go try. We don't really even have an option who we want to fuck. We just trying to fuck whoever, and whoever let us
Y'all
fuck.
got options.
Nah, whoever.
I
want,
got options.
yeah.
Y'all
Whoever-
got options.
But it's like whoever will let us fuck, we trying to fuck, and then it's so we don't really have we don't really have a bunch of choices. It's whoever will let us. We fuck who we can, not who we want. Because if we fuck who we want, every nigga will fuck Rihanna. We can't just fuck who we want. You know what I'm saying? We fuck
But
who we can.
Rihanna can fuck who she wants.
Yeah, Rihanna
Yes, she
can fuck
can.
who she. Yeah.
Yes, she can.
So niggas fuck who they can, women fuck who they want, right? So men fuck who they can, and after that they got the choice of whether or not they gonna wear a condom, whether or not they pull out. Women get to choose who they fuck, right? Because if you didn't, that's a crime. That's rape. If a man just forced himself on you, that's rape. That's a problem, right? So you get to choose whether or not you make a man wear a condom, right? You be like, hey, wrap it up, nigga. You just have to, right? You can't even do that because that's sexual assault. In a lot of states, just doing the fake out, that's
Yeah.
not cool. You can't do that, right? You get to choose whether or not you're on birth control. You get to choose whether or not you got an IUD. You get to choose whether or not you take a Plan B. I can't force a Plan B down your throat. You get to choose whether or not you have an abortion. I can't make you have an abortion.
You can force a plan
Yeah,
B.
okay, you can. I mean,
No.
that's also battery. Like,
Suspect.
I'm about to
Very
say, it
sus-
ain't that you can't do it. It just might not be legal. But go
yeah,
ahead.
it may not.
sus.
It's probably not legal.
Right, go ahead.
Like force somebody's mouth open and
No.
No, she talking about like the morning brunch.
Yeah,
we slipped in the
like,
mimosa.
you know,
Yeah.
chop it up,
The-
put it in the
Yeah,
applesauce,
the Plan B
oatmeal.
milkshake.
Eat that.
Oh,
Eat
that's
that.
crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy. Yeah,
If you get caught.
She'll give you the recipe a little bit later.
That's
Yeah.
the Bill Cosby right
Yes, but
there. And then you got women got a choice of whether or not they take a Plan B, whether or not they get an abortion. Right, a man can't make you get an abortion. Women got a choice of, and then even if they want to have the baby, they got the choice of whether or not they want to put that baby up for adoption. A man can't put a baby up for adoption.
y'all have rights.
We have rights to. We
Very
have rights not to.
limited.
But again, our choices stop at whether or not we wear a condom and whether or not we pull out.
No, your choices should stop at whether you fuck her or not. I mean, if these are the choices you are presented with,
Yeah.
most women will tell you go get a condom, or if the woman don't even mention it, that's when you need to make the conscious decision.
Yeah.
All right, I know there are a few things that can happen if I don't put a condom on.
Yeah.
One, a baby. 2, if I'm unfortunate, a disease. Or 3, I could just walk away free.
Yeah.
And nothing happened. We're good.
Playing Russian roulette with the dick.
Exactly. But I think as men, you all don't take into consideration that you all have the conscious decision just not to get no pussy. And go home and jerk off. You all have that decision.
Really?
You have that decision to make. Me personally, as a man, and sometimes I try to think of things from a male perspective.
I mean, physically, she's not lying.
Yeah,
No,
not
you know,
lying.
She is truth. She is
So
being
my
truthful.
thing as a man, because that's why I only have one child. Most people be like, "Oh, you only had one?" Yeah, because I didn't want no more kids if the father was not going to be actively involved, or we not married, or we didn't have some type of contract. You leave, you taking this kid with you.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I just didn't want no more. So most men, and so the thing is, if I met a man, I did meet a man one time, and we were talking about kids, and I was like, I'm not ready to have no more kids. And he was like, oh, if you get pregnant, you gonna have my baby. Stop. Let me put my clothes back on, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Did I want the dick? Yes, I did, because I like them. But I had to make a decision in that time. Like, this nigga basically going to force me. So if anything, he might poke a hole in the condom, or he might remove the condom while we having sex because he want kids.
Yeah.
I don't. So I'm out of here. I had to make that decision. But men, y'all don't do that.
No, but
Hold on. Before we go, I want to get some of these comments. I want to roll back up here. Shannon says she'll come through. All right, Shannon. Hey, you text me. Also, bring your friend with you. You know what I'm talking about. Amber, if you ain't my boyfriend, you getting treated just like a walking penis.
No, raw.
I ain't treating you any more special than
No.
any other walking penis. Hey, do your shit. Handle your game. Let's see. Sarah said y'all wrong. Sarah, give me a little more context with that. Amber printed a statement for Nick's Cannon. I think it's down. I think she's delivered it, and the cannon's full of shit. Look, any dude talk about energy and frequencies and all that, just walk away.
Hey.
Just walk away.
listen, I'll say this.
Hold
about
a second.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna read just one more couple more comments. Nick Cannon, but don't act like it's something that's not. Let them decide if they want to be a part of it wait until he, or wait what he until I don't know. Clean up for. I see what you're talking about, Shannon. See what you're talking about. Amber, Nick is basically okay with being Nick is basically okay with being a piggy bank. That's because that's first of all because he already stated it's up to these women if they want to have a kid with him or not. And we all know, I mean, Nick Cannon is a very, very well-paid man. All right. Let me read the statement here from, actually.
It's from Amber. Yeah.
Let me read the statement from Amber. I'm bringing this over here. Y'all can't see it, but I'm just going to read it. All right. Second, he says that he can be there for all his kids. This is Amber. And he gave the example that he attends all their events. I respect it. Kids are more than just their activities and events. That's also true, too, as well.
They are.
There are 24 hours in the day. And being able to come home or go to bed with both parents home and available is more comforting and meaningful than showing up to a birthday or sports game. Third, Amber, keep going. Why do people not realize that having kids are a commitment and not a marriage? That makes no sense.
Yeah, see,
Nick, you choose your adventure. Comment what you want to.
I love how much women have turned into advocates for the nuclear family as soon as niggas start having more than one kid with more women. Now it's all about two-parent households. What the fuck is this? I done heard for the last 30 years, we don't need no man. Niggas don't need to be in the household. I can take care of this baby by myself.
Lord.
That's what I heard.
Nah.
Now it's kids are more than 24 hours in a day.
No, that came out of being angry that the man just left. But that's the choice you all have. That's the choice you all have. If a woman decides to have a baby and a man decides, look, I don't want no parts of this, you all have the choice to move on and nobody consider you trifling.
Yeah.
They might talk shit about you, but at the end of the day, if a woman says, I had this kid, I changed my mind, I don't want it. Oh, she's every dirty bitch, trifling bitch. Oh my God, you just out here having kids and ain't taking care of your kids. She's all of that. But if a man decides, I don't want no kids, I'm out of here, you might be trifling for the first couple of months, but after a while, girl, you don't need him. You can take care of this baby on your own. You know what I'm saying? So that's where that saying came from. It's not necessarily women want to be like that. It's just the thing. This is the defense mechanism.
They just angry.
Thank you. It's a defense mechanism.
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't want you to be involved in our kids' lives or we don't want you in the household. You made a decision not to be, and what else can we do about it except take you to court?
And so this is what I'll say, right?
Father's Day post.
This is where like a lot of people look at the dating situation nowadays and it's fucked up. It is fucked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's fucked up on both accounts, right? Because what I was talking this to a girl earlier this week, right? It's like what happened was like women want commitment from men, right? But what happened was a man used to have to get vetted by the men in your family, have to court you, right? And then would marry you and then get sex after marriage.
Okay.
Pussy was after commitment.
Okay.
What happened was pussy got put on the other side of the commitment line because niggas started making your pussy get the heartbeat. You start getting the little butterflies.
Oh my God.
And then, yo, yeah, I know about the pussy heartbeat.
I got something for that.
I know about the pussy heartbeat. But what happened is that
It's scientific fact.
Is that women got liberated, started being able to make their own choices, right? And then they started putting sex before commitment. And that's where all this shit got fucked up. If there was no sex before commitment, you couldn't have a baby before marriage. You get what I'm saying? So all this shit, oh, this nigga ain't shit. This nigga ran out on me. He left me. Oh, I wanted to have the baby. He didn't want to have the baby. None of that would matter in the context of a marriage. All this, the traditional shit where because
When did marriage stop any of that? You have married men that do that.
Married men don't leave. Typically. No. Married men. Again,
No,
we talk.
yeah.
The divorce
Not the majority.
No, it's
Not the majority.
80% divorce filed by women.
These are numbers.
Dudes don't really leave.
Even look at Ray Charles. I ain't leaving my wife.
He's not leaving.
Yeah,
Dudes do not want to leave. Dudes,
When you make a conscious decision to stay
dudes
to be there, men don't want to leave.
Like men they'll go fuck,
Y'all don't
but they
want
won't
to
leave the wife.
No.
they want to stay in
Statistically
their marriages.
speaking.
Even unhappy men will stay in their marriages. Men will just be like, that's my wife, I'll ride it out.
Statistically
I'm going to
speaking.
stay in the basement.
Yeah. That's my wife, I'll sit beside him.
That's how the man cave got invented.
Yeah, so
That's how they started doing podcasts and sheds.
But look, Nick, to your point, real quick, I'm going to interject.
It's not Eurocentric, Amber. That it was first the hypocrisy of him saying that.
Jose, read the whole comment.
Fifth, the hypocrisy of him saying the marriage is a Eurocentric idea, but all his baby mamas fit the Eurocentric status of beauty.
What? Because they all mixed or something like that? That's what she gets to the point of.
Mariah Carey.
So now you want to shit on.
Yeah, now we shit on light skinned black women.
choice.
All right.
His choice.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I thought you liked Veronica.
What?
I thought Amber liked Veronica.
I'm not mixed though. I'm just light skinned.
Oh, but yeah. You got green eyes or whatever.
Yeah, I'm just light skinned.
Eurocentric say to be, but what else? I lost my point. I lost my train of thought here. But let me get back. Is like the traditional shit worked and ended up in long-term relationships. I think what happened. I think what happens with society is there's pendulum shifts, right? I think we're all the way over here, and then we end up swinging all the way over here, right? But there's decent parts on both sides, but really the right setting is somewhere close to the middle, right? So all the traditional shit where like women aren't educated and have no place other than inside the home and can't cook and can't even read and write, and you know they're just you're a man picks her at 14 and she's just her husband. Yeah, maybe a little too far, right? But the other shit where it's just like Nick Cannon talking about energies and niggas not even in the home, that's not making no sense either, right?
No.
So it's like, I think the traditional roles work. I think the traditional roles are kind of like how we're biologically wired to be, but you have to do them in a healthy fashion. You can't be overly, as a man, you can't be, you can't use your position as the leader of a household to abuse a woman. That's not gonna work, right? As a woman, you can't, as a woman, you can't use your position in a household to, withhold from a man. It's like you gotta there's a healthy way to do traditional roles where both people feel respected, and I think that's where we need to get to. Not the weird shit where it's energies with Eurocentric models, and having 18 kids and going to 15 soccer practices. I mean, that's my point.
And then, excuse me, I'm gonna touch on Nick Cannon real quick, man.
Go ahead, you got it.
Nick Cannon is, and I say it all the time, he's an outlier.
He is.
Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Just like we talk about a lot of these relationships.
And the super spreader.
Yeah, he's super spreader, bro. But you know what? When you have the means to do so, that's what you sometimes become. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Along with his own personal mindset and how he looks at relationships, monogamy, kids, and all that type of stuff. He's an outlier because, for one, he's a multimillionaire. So if Nick Cannon want to goes out right now and have 20 kids,
He could.
for the next 18 years of their life or 24, he has the means to make sure that each one of them has a college fund, go through a good school. He has that. So
That nigga own Wildin' Out.
He's back.
His perception may be a tad bit skewed because of his level of success. And so I will say that because it's, he's Nick Cannon. It's no different. Like, look, we're criticizing Nick Cannon right now, right? We're criticizing, but let's just say someone else who was notoriously single, Michael Jackson. Will we be giving Michael Jackson? You know what I'm saying? Like, look, it's weird. It's
Bad
weird.
example, but go ahead.
No. I'm just saying because again, he's another. I say that because he's another outlier. He was another outlier. He wasn't someone that was part of the norm. He was just way fucking different, all the way to the left. But in that moment, if he would have did that, people would have just looked at it as just, yo, Michael Jackson's a billionaire.
Right.
He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. But because we've come into this new age of cancel culture, calling people out on what we perceive as bullshit, we look at Nick Cannon as like, nigga, you nuts. You got 7 kids by, I don't know, what, 5 different women? Something like that. Oh, you wild as shit. But the point is, he's an outlier. He is different because he has the means, not necessarily the time, but he has the means to make sure that all of his kids will forever be good as long as they don't do nothing reckless and trash their inheritance. But he has the means to do so, to take care of their kids. And he alluded to it on the podcast, like, no, look, in all my kids' life, I am very much involved. Now, it doesn't matter who you are. Jay-Z, Beyonce, married couple with their 3 kids, the twins and Blue Ivy. You're not going to.
I didn't realize they had 3 kids.
Yeah, they got
just
twins and Blue Ivy. You're not going to sit here and tell me that Jay-Z and Beyonce are spending 24 hours a day with their kids.
Nobody spends 24 hours a day with their children.
And that's what I'm saying. So when people say, oh, well, it's not just about the money or the soccer practices or the taekwondo. No, bro. Like, literally, within the confines of their environment, for him to be there for soccer games, karate matches, yo, he is doing what he can as a father and an individual, because that's all that matters. It's not necessarily the amount. It's not quality. It's not quantity.
It's
over quality.
Right.
Okay. And we confuse that. We think that because there's a lot of mothers and fathers that spend a lot of motherfucking times in the same house with their kids, but YouTube or Netflix is raising them.
They're present without being present.
They're there.
Right.
They're present without.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that because he's not there, a quantity that diminishes his quality of time that he spends with them. Right?
I don't even think
he said that. He's like, yo, time is a man-made construct.
I told
and
you,
that's the
frequencies,
thing.
energy,
But that's-
it's
that
all
was
game.
hilarious.
But that's
It's
the
all
thing
game.
about Nick Cannon that doesn't. I don't think he's an outlier because of his money. I think he's an outlier because of his thought process. So my thing with Nick Cannon and other men that believe in polygamy and having kids by multiple women, you have to look at the history of why polygamy even came into play. Number 1, it was to populate the earth. The earth is populated.
Facts.
Number 2, if you were a polygamist, you had multiple wives.
True.
They were wives,
Wives.
not baby mamas.
Wives.
The whole point of you having multiple wives was you had to have, like you said, the means to be able to support your multiple wives.
But where
So,
did the construct of
polygamy
marriage come into play?
Well, according to history, it came into play from Christianity.
Very Eurocentric.
A Eurocentric thing.
Well, I'll say Christianity is more.
Eurocentric.
That's Arab.
No.
Wait.
Yeah.
We're if you're gonna talk, see, bro. We're not going to do this right now.
It's a
But
lesson
what I
in
was
love.
gonna say,
Another podcast.
As far as marriage goes, as far as what we believe it to be, is a very Eurocentric influence because the implementation of it was created by whom? The Roman Catholic Church. Okay, a very Euro church.
We talk that marriage between like man and woman, right?
Between one
woman,
man, one
and
woman.
You know it today,
Right.
He's right about that. He's right.
I'm not saying the inception was Eurocentric. What I am saying is what we
don't know what it is today.
It's that came from the basis of the Roman Catholic Church. There we go.
Also, you have to look at marriage. Also came about as a thing of being with one man, one woman. But it also is contractual. So meaning, when you had multiple women, and you die, who does this shit go to? So
you had wills.
Not everybody has wills.
Well,
but the thing about the marriage, like even in this day and time, if you don't have a will and you're married, everything automatically goes to your wife.
True.
There is no argument. There is no, well, Billy Ray's supposed to get this. I'm the wife. I said what it was going to happen. That's that. You don't like it, take me to court. So that's another reason why marriage came about as we know it, to eliminate a lot of problems with things like land, property, money, and things of that nature. But as far as marriage as the way we know it, do I think that polygamy was meant to continue in the earth? No, I don't. Because again, it was used because we needed to populate the earth. The earth is very well populated. Very well populated. So at this point, we don't
You
need.
think it was used for just to populate the earth?
It wasn't used only to populate the earth. That was probably the initial use of it, according to what you read in history. You had multiple wives, they all had kids, and you had to take care of them.
That's cap. Even history books.
You do know the earth isn't overpopulated, right?
Not anymore, because people are dropping dead. So I mean,
the earth, a lot of people are seeing that we can offer love, but factual stuff right now. The earth isn't overpopulated. It's what the media prescribes and shows us about how we're breeding. So
Right.
the whole birth control, all of that stuff was started first of all by one woman individually. She pushed that. The earth is overpopulated. You can take all the countries of this planet right now, and you can stack all of their quote unquote trash into the state of Rhode Island. People don't understand that. The earth isn't overpopulated. So when it comes to as far as like husband and wife, or people like Nick Cannon that want to breed outside of marriage, you're doing exactly because the earth is massive.
Right.
We're not overpopulated. It's just the way that we are utilizing the resources the going forward in the future that makes it seems as though the earth has an abundance. And so when you say like someone like look,
This is why Thanos is right.
I take me for example. I got 5 kids by 3 different women. I'm not ashamed to say it.
Not subscribe to Eurocentric standards over here.
right.
Three with my wife, 2 outside of my marriage. You know what I'm saying? And I do for all mine. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. I don't believe anyone should ascribe to the mindset that I have, because in my earlier days I was reckless, and then I got locked down, and this is what I was. But for me, I like Nick said in the podcast, I love kids, bro. Even with 5 kids right now, I was still, if me and my wife was on better terms,
You would have another one.
I would have another one. I have 2 more because you know why?
Super spreader.
I still have the means to go out there and get it, and as long as I have the opportunity to get it, I'm not going to stop my legacy because of what some other people's belief should be or shouldn't be. Just because you choose not to, not you, no one
in general,
else, royal, you know what I'm saying? But just because you choose not to procreate, bro, my legacy will live on.
right?
Because I had the means to do so. I'm going to do so. And because there's so much out here to benefit the next generation.
Right.
But people get locked into this mindset of, oh, one wife, one husband, whatever the case is, whatever works for whomever. You know what I'm saying? And we get told, oh, the earth is overpopulated. It's over. No.
If you ever drove through West Kansas, the earth ain't
Do what you
overpopulated.
gotta do.
Wyoming got less people.
Everything overpopulated.
Wyoming has less people in it than DC.
Yeah, bro.
So-
We got 5
But I don't
million
think-
The entire state
Yeah.
Right.
has less people than the metropolitan area of a city that is literally how many square miles? It's something.
With DC?
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
like
10.
something
6
ridiculous.
miles.
Like 10.
Like from end to end. It's
Take
ridiculous.
East Capitol. Take East Capitol all the way
yes.
down.
DC is 6 square miles.
And how many people?
Yeah, it's
There's
not- it's
over
not
3
big.
million people. No, I'm sorry. There's over 400,000 people.
No, that's probably 700.
No, DC
700K this
alone
morning.
has close to 1 million people now.
Close to 1 million people.
Yeah, now.
So
That's a lot of
let's not
shit.
say
It's a lot of people in a
that
small space.
the earth is overpopulated. No, we're not going to do that. Okay? And I'm going to wrap this up. Let me wrap this up.
New York Avenue is overpopulated.
Right.
I'll say that.
And we ain't counting the rats either.
Hey, y'all get out that fucking Wendy's, all right?
Right.
Fuck that Wendy's.
They've been in that Wendy's for years.
Hey.
Fuck that Wendy's.
Hey, I will say this. I'm of the same mindset of death. Is that if I were the rich man or have the means, I would have a lot more than 3 kids. And I had this conversation with Jenny too as well. If I was making several hundreds of thousands a year, I would have at least maybe like 5, maybe 6, because I'm of the same mindset of Nick Cannon. Like, I enjoy having kids, but you also have the means to be around these children too as well. But even if you have, like, I understand it's Amber Point, but in that case, just have 1 kid and just spend all the time with that 1 kid instead of having more. Because when I'm spending time with Gio or Rick or Jet, that means I'm gonna spend time
It's
with one.
divided.
Yeah, so I'm gonna spend time with the other one too as well. Even though we made the same household, but there's some times where I take Rick and Jet out with me, but it's just us 3 out just doing whatever.
Yeah,
It'll be eventually
Yeah,
just me.
boys.
Yeah, exactly. It'll eventually be when G is online. It'll be just us going out doing something.
Yeah.
So
But as a parent, you have to do that because you can't spend the same type of time or give the same type of attention to 3 different children. They're all different.
Very true.
You know, so you may be able, there's some things that you and Jet and Ricky can get that Gia will never get.
Of course.
Not because she's a girl, it's just not her thing. Or there may be a bond that you and Ricky have that you and Jet won't have. Or there may be a bond that you and Jet have that you and Ricky won't have. So it's if you have multiple children, it has to be that way. But even with me, like with 1 kid, like I wanted 5 and 6 kids. That's always what I've always wanted.
Yeah.
But however, age caught up with me, and the thing of there were no men out here that I was willing to have that many kids with.
True.
So
I hear that.
you know, you also have to think of people like me. It's not that I didn't want multiple kids, and I don't want to go through the whole pregnancy thing again. That shit sucks. Like that shit sucks.
Yeah.
Like
That shit look
if
like
I could
ass,
have
bro.
kids without being
Seen 3
pregnant,
times.
like I
Fuck
would
that.
be spitting out kids like it's water. But it's just a thing of you have to think of. My whole thing is who would have been a good father for my other children, who can include my current child and make her feel like she is their own. And over the years of dating, I'm like, he will be up. No, you know what I'm saying? So it just got to a point where it's like, no, never mind.
You're like, yeah, you gonna have my baby.
Hey, hold a second. Just real quick. First of all, shout out to we reached over 100 messages today on Restream. Hey, round of applause. Shout out to all y'all in the comment section.
Real quick,
Fantastic.
Little housekeeping.
Little housekeeping on
Little
that one, and
housekeeping.
then you can read
Look.
Amber's comment.
Yo, shout out to the Restream, man. We had 100 comments. That just means that the people that love us, that like us, that hate us, whatever the case is, y'all commenting, and we love it and we appreciate it. Again, back to my earlier point. Show us some love.
Hey,
Show us some love. You know what I'm saying? You're watching the show, you commenting. Everyone in the comment section, I challenge y'all right now. Everyone from Amber to Lamont to Shannon to I don't know who else is commenting.
yeah, shout out to
It's a
Sarah.
big goal. It's a crazy
We
goal.
got-
But
we
it's
gotta-
my goal.
Yeah.
Hey, look. Take the time out. Take the time out to go out there on YouTube, Facebook. Share.
Like, comment,
Motherfucking
subscribe.
share.
Share.
Please like, comment.
You better
subscribe.
do it because he said motherfucking share.
Mother.
There you go.
Share.
share.
You know what I'm saying? Like, please do that for us, man. We appreciate that. Other than that, Rick, go back to the comments, baby. You got it.
Hey,
Rick,
appreciate you.
You
What's
want
up?
to
What's
move
up?
to the big tail thing?
Oh, we about to.
Or the MT gal?
Oh, say,
You know what I'm saying?
All right, hey. Let me read his comments, and we're gonna set the table on that one too as well. Amber said she wanted 7 kids, but it's coming out of me, but just in general. Now, what do you mean it's coming out of me? Do you mean like you don't want?
She's
thinks
okay with adoption.
Okay.
I can speak
Amber
for
thinks
her.
she's Angelina Jolie.
I can speak
But,
because
hey, Wakanda good. They don't need no.
I know Amber very well.
Yeah, go on.
very motherfucking well. Amber is like, yo, I want to have. Amber's okay with having like 1 kid, 2 kids, but she's literally have in her own mind. She's okay because she's dealing with a guy right now, her boo thing, and they are very much in love. He has a
Shout out to
son,
the love.
and
Round of
she
applause.
has literally like we've talked on the phone. Yo, I am okay with stepping into the role as the stepmom. Okay. But it doesn't just stop there for her. She wants to have, you know what I'm saying? She wants to have a kid herself, 2 kids if possible. But Amber is the type of individual, she's very rare. And we've always said this, like, yo, you're different.
Outlier.
Amber's one of those individuals where she has a very tough, solid exterior. But the inside is like jelly. She loves very hard.
She's a typical Leo.
She has a goddaughter that she has gone to the moon and back for. That is her. That's her second child, and she's like, "Yo, I am okay with adoption." Like she believes in it. She ascribes to it. When she gets to that point, she's going to do it.
I said that
And
I
that's
would.
what I
I
love about
wanted
my
to
girl.
adopt. Yeah, I'll definitely within the next year or 2, I would adopt. And I only say that is because I want to make sure that my daughter has whatever she needs to get started. If she's going to college, the military, or whatever, I need to get her straight before I put my intention on adopting children. But I'm all for adoption.
You gonna
It's
fuck up your
tough.
hot girl
It's
summer?
dope.
You're 40. You're still got the.
I mean, I can still have my hot girl summer.
No,
You know,
what the
I'm gonna
hell?
hire a nanny.
Okay.
My hire a nanny because at this point I can afford to hire a nanny. But it's just
Get
one
the
of those
resources.
things. Yeah,
Come on now.
I'm very into adoption, and you know, if there's a baby out here that need love. But I get Amber because I only have 1 biological child, but if I count how many children are in my life, it's a good 10. You know what I'm saying? Good
That you're
10 kids.
being a
That
motherly
I'm
influence.
actively involved motherly in their lives.
That's
So,
what's up. No doubt.
you know,
That's
the thing is, and it gets
That's
to a
tough, though.
Yeah, it's tough because it's a thing of you have to realize that sometimes
I mean,
I'm not
tough in a good way. Tough in a good way.
yeah, I'm not your mother. So sometimes you got to pull yourself back a little bit. But sometimes you want to step a little bit further because you like, if your mama really cared, she wouldn't allow me to do these things. You know what I'm saying?
You're talking about community at that point.
Right.
Yep,
So
exactly.
I'm a big advocate for a village raising a child. Like I believe that a child does not come up right in the world unless they have a village, not just mother and father, but outside influences.
Yeah, true.
Facts.
Because sometimes the mother and father, they get caught up in themselves to the point where they can't see what's going on with the kid. So you
This
have
is
a
true.
lot of children
This is
that
true.
come to my house that they will tell me things they would not dare tell their parents.
Sensation.
And sometimes I'll tell them, okay, your secret is safe with me, depending on what it is. No, your mama's gonna know. You can hate me all you want. So
Loved it.
yeah, so it depends on what your. Matter of fact, my daughter had a friend who lost her virginity, and she told me, and I said, "Oh, don't tell her your mother." That's something her mother needs to know.
Whoa.
That's something her mother needed to know.
Yeah. No,
So,
no, for real.
and-
But hold on.
You don't
This
out
is a
here having
relationship.
sex.
So hold on, because we might have seemed like we kind of got it off topic though.
But no, it's dealing with relationships.
From a very like maternal, paternal aspect.
This is a
though.
lesson in love. It's
This
a
is
lesson
a
in love.
lesson because you're talking about the community and you're talking about what it means to be involved in any child's life, right? So that's facts, though.
Right.
I don't disagree with that. It might be a little bit shocking to me, but you know what? When we're talking about lessons in love, we have to understand we're spitting facts to a lot of very single parents, both mother and father, and you gotta. If you're and your children as they grow up, they're gonna have very outside influences as far as other kids. So you have to be willing to be parents to other people's kids. So that's
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Like,
Yeah.
like, yo, that's solid. Like,
Yeah, it's a
I was shocked. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? You snitching? But
Hey.
then, as a parent, that's solid.
You gotta
That's
know.
Solid.
Hey, real quick, just out of curiosity, Lamont asked a question, just quickly before we move on to the next one. Is there a favorite kid that you may have? Of course, obviously, you don't really count the situation. Veronica.
In my situation,
Yeah,
So this is for me and you.
yeah, for you.
Oh, 'cause I'm about to say.
Yeah,
You got
as
this
far
one,
as
Rick.
yeah,
First,
as far
you
as
got
favorite
this
kids, yes and no.
don't lie.
No, I'm not going to. So we had Rick first, obviously. We had Rick for 15 months, and then Jet was new, but he was a new baby. I was like, he's a new baby, but all I know is Rick.
Right.
That's literally all I know. But of course, as they grown older and they both had different personalities, you love them differently. Like this one I trust with something. This one I
Yeah,
trust with
true.
something else.
Right.
There's one I love in this way. There's one I love in that way. So having a favorite is in certain aspects of what they do. Yes, I love you do this right here. I also love you do this, but also. Y'all gotta work together as a team because y'all can't do this shit on your own right now.
Right.
So
Very
put
true.
your heads together. You got your little baby sister coming up too as well, and we'll see how she does. I have no idea.
She gonna start yelling at everybody.
You know what?
She might.
That's such a very.
It may sound political, but I mean it is what it is.
It is what it is.
That's the truth.
So, man, Rick said it perfectly, man. So my oldest is 17. He's been on the podcast before. I absolutely, and I'll tell him in the text messages, I adore my oldest because he came out and he grew up to be such a solid individual. I adore him because for the four younger, I would, if I could just like, if you have a something to look forward to, look towards as an inspiration, an aspiration. My oldest is the aspiration. He is a honor roll, possibly valedictorian. You know what I'm saying? In school, he has maintained like a 3.2 like throughout school. Like he is, and he plays basketball. He is awesome. Awesome. You know what? But then look at my daughter, who is literally, out of my 5 kids, she is the middle. My daughter has 2 older brothers, 2 younger brothers. My daughter is amazing. She's in the she's gone to the 4th grade. She reads on the 7th grade level. She's awesome. Me and her have conversations. She has inspired me to be. My daughter has inspired me to be a better me, just her individually. And so I'm like, you're awesome. I love it. And then I have my junior. He's my junior. He is so much like me and so much different from me. Because anyone that meets Junior, that like literally spent time with him, would knows, yo, this one, he is going to be completely different from all the rest. Because he is a MGTOW in the making. Junior goes his own way. He will be in a playground full of kids and will not play with a single one of them.
Yeah.
And he will be perfectly content. He is. I love him for that. Now Elijah just turned 1. I'm still learning him. But you know what? That's my man's.
Right.
That's why I got the butterflies. That's why I say I look at him and I'm like, I want another one. Because I look at him, little chunks, and I'm like, I want one more. Because he's so dope. You can't put you can't do it.
Yeah.
When you have multiple. You know what I'm saying? You can't you'll come to understand that when you have multiple. It's because like every single one of them has something about them that just makes you so proud and makes those butterflies bubble up and you know what I'm saying, like flutter within you. You can't do it.
Right.
It's just
Impossible.
that
It's impossible.
I love all of them, and then even my youngest, my second oldest, you know what I'm saying, DeAndre, he is like, I look at him, I call him Big Poppy. He reminds me of Big Poppy in baseball. He is a solid, thick person. He has his own personality. He's a very humble. He's not fucking loud. He assumes the role that you present before him, but he's going to stand in it. That's who he is.
Solid dude.
You're not going to bully me, but you know what? I'm not a very overbearing individual. This is who I am. All of my kids have something so different within them.
Yeah.
It's like, bro,
Yeah, you can't
I
pick
can't
a favorite.
pick one over the other.
They all got
You know
great,
what I'm
they all
saying?
got
If
great
I had to
qualities.
choose, I'd say my oldest.
Yeah.
Because he is the leader of the pack.
Right.
But every single one of them has something that is going to make them so unique.
It's a team effort.
That's
Right.
what being a parent, that's what love is. That's why, like Nick says, I got 7.
Wait, nigga. Trying to get the 200, what you say, the 12 tribes of Israel?
Yeah.
12
Yeah.
times.
Right.
Hey.
That's what we do. So, yo, shout out to Nick Cannon, man.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with Nick Cannon's way of thinking. I just think that people should realize you're not contributing to this man's life. You're not contributing to his children's life.
Why do you care so much?
Why do
speak on
I
it?
look like I don't
ain't fucking
care?
them.
Yeah, you not screwing them, and if you are, then be prepared to be a baby mama. You just, I think it was a joke going around on Facebook that every woman was checking in that they weren't pregnant by Nick Cannon. So I mean, it's
Look,
just
there was a meme that said he got young
Yes.
Ma.
yeah. So I mean, my thing about Nick Cannon is as long as he is happy or content, as we say, as long as the women he's dealing with are okay with the situation they're in, then us on the outside looking in, who are we to judge?
Exactly.
Because you got
if it works,
right.
If
If
it
it
works
works,
for
it
you,
works.
if it works for you, it works for you.
You got some people out here that they can only support, like we were talking about earlier. They can't even support the one they got, but they got 5 or 6 kids, or they out in the street yelling and screaming at their kids and cursing at them and threatening them. And all. So hey, as long as the children are happy, the women are happy, Nick Cannon's happy, then guess what? We should be happy. And if you don't want to be happy, don't give a fuck.
that's a PP.
That's
Personal
it.
problem.
Yeah, it's a personal problem.
So, Dev, you touched on something a little bit earlier. Men going their own way, Junior going his own way.
True.
So, what we have here is a scientific method. We have a hypothesis. And for our resident relationship scientist, Gold Couch member, and we had some buttons over here I could hit all at once that make all that sound sense.
Pass it on to my man Nick Lyles.
Hey, Nick, set up the table. What exactly is MGTOW? What does it stand for? What is the reason behind it? What's the history?
Okay, so the MGTOW, or also known as the MGTOW movement, right, is a movement that has resulted from it stands for men going their own way, right? And the men going their own way movement is a small community online that is a response to what they see as toxic feminism, right? They see women, continue, like they see women, coming at men, women trying to be men, women berating men. They see the Me Too movement. They looked at all this, and in their head, they've calculated, they've gone, being even approach, like, and every man has a bit of a MGTOW in him, right? Because there are times where you, as a single man, where you want to approach a woman, but you go, I don't know if that would be considered creepy, right? And that, 30 years ago, creep, who cares? Nowadays, if I creep a woman out, or I creep 3 or 4 women out, approaching them, right, and then I somehow become a successful celebrity, I'm Andrew Cuomo. I'm out
Right.
of here. Andrew Cuomo was.
He didn't even argue.
We
He
were
just
talking with him on
resigned.
Friday too, as well. By the
Yeah,
way,
he just resigned.
Yeah, it's crazy that you could just say anything in a menacing tone, and we've got to pretend that it's a crime now.
Right.
He was like, Andrew Cuomo kissed me on the cheek at a wedding and said, "Ciao, Bella." Oh, bitch, what? That's not a crime.
It's not a crime.
That's not a crime, okay? I had a joke about this I did on stage yesterday, but it's like that's a crazy butterfly effect to think that like one woman felt like she got her tits stared at too long at a wedding, and now like 50 million people don't have government representation.
Right.
That's weird.
That's a weird butterfly effect. Like one woman was slightly uncomfortable at a wedding.
It's a very extreme one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so like so men are seeing this stuff, right? And we're not dummies. We're not idiots, right? This thing is like is women are kind of doing the patriarch where it's like, oh, if you're not doing anything wrong, you don't have anything to hide. It's like, no, if you can make anything sound menacing, you make anything sound like a crime, or if you cobble together a few stories, right, where like you find a couple stories where someone's a drunk asshole or they say something weird they made over the course of a man's 60-year life. Of course, you're gonna find a dozen women he made uncomfortable.
Right.
Over the course of anyone's 60-year life, you're gonna find a dozen people they made uncomfortable at some point in time.
So are you defending Cuomo?
I'm not defending Cuomo, right?
Whoa.
But what I am doing is saying that I've said it on the podcast before, right? Is that we're doing this thing where we're like, oh, well, these are just consequences for actions, right? But consequences need to be scaled towards actions. You don't go to jail for life because you jaywalked. You know what I'm saying? You don't get the death penalty for a parking ticket, right?
Facts.
Did he fuck up? Did he make some women uncomfortable? Yes. Did he apologize? Yes. That's the end of it. It's not he made a couple women uncomfortable. Yes. He apologized. Now he can no longer have a career in politics.
Right.
That's the thing. It's not that I don't believe in holding people accountable, but accountability has to be to scale. Okay? We can't, and that's the thing with the online movement is with online and with Twitter and Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, all these things. Is it's like it becomes like there is one punishment for any action. The baby says one weird thing on stage, and now he's out $500,000 from concerts.
What the hell did he say?
Can I ask you a quick question?
Go for it.
As it relates to feminism,
Yeah.
right? We were talking about Cuomo.
Yeah.
How do you scale that if you're going to respect feminism? How do you do that?
If you say, hey, listen, ladies, I'm human. I made a mistake. If I made you uncomfortable, my bad. I'm sorry. But here's the problem. Here's the other problem is that we don't accept people's apologies nowadays.
No.
So an apology is different from I'm sorry.
Okay. Go ahead.
There's action. No, I'm saying this because I want you to, to dive into it.
I'll elaborate.
So I'm sorry is I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I apologize is an action. It should be followed up by. So what do you think about some people that say I'm sorry versus I apologize towards their offense towards feminism and that type of stuff?
And so this is what I'll say with the Andrew Cuomo situation, right? Is that if you I watched the 14-minute Andrew Cuomo apology. It's a hilarious video, by the way. I think
you took the PowerPoint presentation he had?
Yeah,
my God.
He's like, I kiss everyone at weddings. I kiss.
And he just I'm like, Andrew, no, that's all you.
Bro, it's hilarious. It's hilarious watching Andrew Cuomo basically do a collage of how many people he's kissed.
It's like you're not helping your case.
It's so fucking funny.
I'm like, who's your lawyer?
It's beyond funny. Anyway, but what I would say is like in that speech he said, listen, I'm going to donate more money and more resources towards sensitivity training, towards sexual harassment training. I mean, these are tangible actions that he was willing to take.
I got you.
In terms of his apology. And so it wasn't just hey, my bad. I know y'all bitches mad, so my bad.
Right.
He said, hey, listen, I genuinely apologize if I made you upset, and I'm going to donate resources to try to right my wrongs to make sure that no one makes these mistakes in the future. That's all you can do as a person. But we no longer,
go ahead.
We no longer accept apologies. What we do now,
I got you.
Okay. Yeah, what we do now, right, is people attempt to apologize, right, and then we say, oh, well, you're only sorry you got caught. That's what we do
Discredit.
now.
Discredit.
You say, hey, you did something fucked up. You're like, ah, shit, my bad. You right. All right, cool. I didn't realize. You know what? That might have been fucked up of me. Yeah, well, too bad, perv. It's over for you. You know, you're just sorry you got caught. You know what I'm saying, man? I was trying to genuinely apologize, but there's no way to genuinely apologize to the internet. The internet doesn't look for apologies. The internet doesn't want change. The internet wants blood.
Meat.
They want meat.
Drama.
They want to see people destroyed. That's what makes them. That's what gets them satisfaction, so they can go on moving to destroying the next person. They don't care about any tangible change.
So, how do you relate that to the manosphere, the MGTOW? How do you relate that?
And so what I'll say is that men are seeing that you can't even make a mistake, right? You can't even accident. Andrew Cuomo, one of the complaints, he complimented on a woman on her necklace, but she said he was clearly staring at my chest. Bitch, your necklace is on your chest. Where the fuck, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like, so men are seeing that, and men are seeing that men's career. I mean, this man's been in politics for 30 years, right?
And just like that,
His
it's
career's
over.
done, right? So men
Right.
are seeing that, and they're saying, you know what? Never mind. We're good. I'm not saying I'm saying that, but I'm saying this is what certain men are seeing, and they're responding to that. They're responding to this sort of this really sort of like mentally abusive thing towards men, where you not only attempt to attack what they're doing in the present, but attempt to hold over everything they've ever done in the past, and they have to the amount of times I've done a mental Rolodex of all the women I've even made a pass at is crazy. That's fucking, and I have to worry that maybe in 30 years or 20 years, if I ever become somebody, that someone from fucking Oklahoma City that I made a pass at Pink Parrot in 2015 might say that I'm a fucking creep. That's a thing that men have to currently live with. Now, I'm not saying I support.
That's very true. And like honestly, I'm like, hey, how you doing, baby?
Yeah.
Something crazy.
Right.
Park lot
Yeah.
pimping.
So that means all the old men that lived in my neighborhood at one point in time, they're all creeps, because that was honey, baby, sweetheart,
Yeah,
all
sweetheart.
that. Yeah.
How is a woman that's operating in today's society, you're not necessarily within the dating
ahead.
market, right? Because you say you're taking your time out to chill. But how do you deal with the approach of men in current society? Because I know in your profession, you may get approached, you know what I'm saying? And so you may be approaching, you may get approached by a lot of different men, and they may be operating with a certain bravado. They kind of come into their own. How do you, as a woman, deal with that?
Well, I come from a totally different generation than this. And when I say totally different generation, where I come from, a woman could hold her own. We weren't sensitive. We didn't cry about it. You told a man how you felt, and then you moved on.
And that was it?
And that was just it. So as long as you ain't touching what you ain't supposed to be touching, and even in that case, if you touch, I might whoop your ass and just move on, depending on what happens.
True.
But at the end of the day, I totally agree. I'm not against this movement. What is it? Men going their own way. I can't even argue and say it's stupid or be against it, because I totally agree with it. Somewhere, at some point, we came into this. Everybody is like overly sensitive, cancel culture, overly sensitive. Where to the point where, like he said, you're destroying people's lives based on, oh, he complimented me on my dress. Is that not what people do? Like people
supposed to?
Yeah, people have been doing that for years. So my thing as a woman, how I deal with being approached is, if you approach me in a way that I think is inappropriate, I will just tell you it's inappropriate and move on. I'm not about to go put it on Facebook or do a news broadcast about it or call your mama. I'm not about to do any of that. You know what I'm saying? If you say something, oh, girl, you got big titties. Well, nigga, you can't even fit them in your mouth. So get the fuck on. You know what I'm saying? and that's just it.
Who put titties in their mouth?
we just came.
Magikarps.
We just came into this. We just came into this generation where everybody is so sensitive. It's like you can't even be human.
Exactly.
You know, so
That's tough.
you can't be human. So the thing about Como, I never say his name right. Cuomo. You know, the thing about him giving a kiss at a wedding, what people need to understand is some cultures. What is his background?
He's Italian.
Italian people are affectionate.
That's what he said. He
They
said
kiss
that.
everybody.
He said, "Don't blame me." He said, "I'm
Right.
Italian."
Yes, they kiss everybody, like Latin people. Even when I'm on my full-time job, when I used to go into the office, you know, there was a young lady that started there. She moved here from Puerto Rico. We had an office in Puerto Rico. She moved here from that office. She's in the office and ran into a friend of hers, and she's like speaking in Spanish, hugging, and her friend had to say, "No, don't do that," because she had to.
Really?
Yeah, because
Within the confines.
Was it a man or a woman?
no, it was a woman. It was another woman, but she's telling her, no, don't do that. It's not because she didn't want to greet her. She had to let her know what the culture is here.
Exactly.
You know,
Oh,
in
she had to school her,
right, in
basically.
Puerto Rico, you know, they all Latin, they kissing on, whatever the case. They all go out and get beers later on together.
Yeah.
But here in Maryland, where it's very political,
Yeah.
girl, you can't hug on me like that.
Yeah.
We gonna have to do that outside the office, you know.
Exactly.
And it's sad because that's their culture. Even black people, we greet each other, we hug, we slap hands, we might kiss somebody, but it's like you can't even be human anymore. But I do understand that some men do take it too far. Some men do.
Yeah,
It happens.
no, absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you take it too far, you should get called on taking it too
Yeah,
far.
he should get called on, but I'm a person that I believe in giving you a chance to correct your actions.
Yeah.
And I agree with Dev that the best form of apology is change behavior.
Yeah.
Now, if you apologize and you continue to do the same shit,
Yeah, that
then
was bullshit.
that's something different.
Yeah.
But I do believe in giving a person a chance to correct their action. In Cuomo's case, look, I'm Italian, I kiss everybody. Okay, cool. But you know what? I don't like that. So could you please not do that? And leave it at
All right,
that.
Cool. All right, cool.
Leave
You
it at
good.
that.
You good.
Right, you're good, and leave it at that. But I just don't understand, like the whole Me Too movement. It does two things. It turned everything into a witch hunt,
Yeah.
and then it takes away from women who are dealing with sexual assault trauma.
Yeah.
Because now it's become, we're not going to find a way to heal these women. We just want to publicize it and make everybody lose their jobs, lose their lives. They're now creeps. They're now hoes. They're perverts. They're pedophiles. But at the end of the day, what are you doing for the women who have been sexually assaulted or are currently still dealing with these issues?
As if they should be happy. Man.
Exactly. So that's my thing. If you're
You
going
got them, girl.
right,
Like,
if you're
all
going to
right.
create a movement with a purpose, not just to expose people, but to provide some type of resources, some type of mental health, or even if you want to say defense classes, whatever, to help women to better prepare themselves, you know, protect themselves, or to deal with trauma they may have had. I haven't seen any of that come out of the Me Too movement.
All right, so hold a second. So as far as the men going on the way, it's a goal not to get married. It's just go to be
So the goal.
Oh, it's not
single
to get
single
married?
for life.
The goal
What
is
is- what is that
the
the end
goal is
result?
The goal is basically survival. The goal
That
is saying-
part I don't agree with.
No, I don't agree with it either, right? Because what it is, because it's avoiding women, right? Pretty much in general.
Yeah, so what are you going to do when you get urges?
You
talking about
masturbate,
incels
sex
today.
dolls.
Oh.
I
don't.
The MGTOW movement is very like all is so there's so that MGTOW borderlines on incel, which is like involuntary celibate, but like all this stuff is like basically trying to find every way to avoid women for the point of self-preservation, but a lot of it is rooted in fear.
Okay,
A
I
lot
mean,
of it's rooted
yeah,
in
Just
fear.
scared of a woman, what they could do
What
to
they
you.
could do to you.
and I understand that. I mean, that's just like women that are raped avoid men afterwards. A lot,
Exactly.
you know, some women choose to be with other women after they get raped. So my thing is, I don't agree with it because it's like you're basically putting everybody in one basket and you're judging everybody based on a few women out here.
Amber.
So I don't agree with it, but I get it.
Amber
I
said
get
knew
it.
it. They're incels.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
and like you said, you define the definition of that too as well.
involuntary celibate.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, but I'd say like a lot of it's fear based. The same way that like women are like, oh well, I don't want a man to have like power over me because then maybe he could abuse me. That's the same sort of fear based mindset that some women have. It's the same thing men say. oh, well, I don't know if I want to even approach her because I don't know how she'll take this, so I'll just go jerk off somewhere.
Right.
Well, you see more men fighting back too as well. I mean, you saw the T.I. video not too long ago.
What did T.I. say?
This is what it's come to. The song he dropped. About a few months back. We saw about, hey, you accuse me of sexually assaulting these women. This is where I stand. This is what happened. Here it is in bar form.
Yeah.
And the music video too as well.
Well, the problem I have with like, not necessarily like the incels thing, but like, we've created an environment where women, what's the whole, not necessarily the Me Too movement, but it's like a believe women. You know, so if a woman
as if
says,
women aren't human, as if they're perfect beings.
If a woman says that she's been sexually assaulted, you should believe it, right? Plain and simple, point blank, period. You should believe it, right? The problem that I seen, and if I can find this TikTok, I'll bring it up and I'll share it in the comment section. You know what I'm saying, so people can see it. There's women that says, "Why are men afraid of being accused of sexual assault?" Right? Okay. And then the response was, well, men, if you're afraid of that, you should stay in the house, not go out, not approach women, not dress very, not provocatively for men. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to take care of myself, dress right. Don't do that. Don't go out. Stay in the house.
Yeah.
So to me,
that's what the MGTOW movement is.
So to me, it's like, it's the revert. It's the mirror effect of victim blaming. So society has told women, oh, well, if you don't want to get raped,
right,
don't dress in mini skirts.
And I was about to say that, but go ahead.
But society has told women that. But now on the flip side, we're telling men, well, if you don't want to get accused of sexual assault or sexual harassment, don't leave out the house. It's the same. That's victim blaming, because we are living in a society where there are men that are being falsely accused of these things, and only because of the big brother state that we live in, that some of these guys are coming off, because we are seeing via all the surveillance. No, that's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
So we're victim. It's wrong to victim blame women when they get raped, right? That's wrong. We know that. But now we're saying it's wrong to victim blame men when they get falsely accused of these things. We're saying, oh, well, if you don't want to get accused of this, it's your fault because you went out. What kind of world are we living in the dating market? When it comes to love, when it comes to longevity, when it comes to marriage or LTRs, long-term relationships, what kind of environment are we creating where we're telling men that, yo, maybe you shouldn't be out there looking for your long-term partner?
You're creating a lot of long-term single women. That's what you're creating.
And a lot of hold on. And I told y'all last week. I told y'all last week the average age of virgins in the male community is
starting to rise.
It's starting to rise between 18 and 29.
Yeah.
We're creating an environment.
Dudes just aren't doing it. They're just not going.
So what are we creating in the dating market, Veronica, when it comes to how women approach dating versus the options? We're not even talking about high value men. We're just talking about men in general.
Everyday blue collar.
What are we creating?
We're creating a problem because at the end of the day, you have these movements now where, like you said, the men they don't want to deal with women at all. So now it's like women can't complain, oh, I can't find a man, because your husband might be in that damn group. But because he's afraid to approach you because of what might be said, you're not going to find him, or he's not going to find you.
Tough. So it sounds like Twitter is dominating reality at this point.
I mean, the social media in general is dominating reality in every aspect of life.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, social media. I mean, don't get me wrong. Technology is great, and
on
it's
it.
needed. However, technology has also created a devil in life in general, with children, relationships, everything. The reason why the divorce rates are probably rising is because of social media.
Too much access to people.
Too much access to other people.
Attention,
You
not
know,
retention.
exactly, things being said across social media or whatever. And one thing, like, I have to teach my daughter, even dealing in a teenage relationship or any relationship, please don't let social media dictate what your relationship is, because
Facts.
to me, social media is entertainment. I don't post anything about my personal life on social media. Nobody knows where I've been in the world. The only thing they might see an occasional picture of my child just to give an update when she's grown up. Great. But
She's
as far
alive. With a newspaper in front
right,
of her
she's
hand.
alive. But as far as who I'm dating, what trips I've been on, where I work, none of that is on my social media page because it's for entertainment only. So I think when people start putting their lives on social media and you start letting everybody in, that's when the theys start coming around. And when I say the theys,
The
is
non-binary.
the non-binary.
Flued out, and y'all don't know.
I'm getting what?
You getting flued out.
What you mean?
Flew to like destinations, or you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, y'all don't know nothing about that. None about that.
You
You
never
know what I'm
know.
saying?
You never know.
You'll never know.
A family, I don't know.
Yeah, but see, but I keep it that way for a reason. I mean, my thing is, if anybody ever come ask y'all anything about me, not even my family can tell people anything about me.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's how it was.
even my investigations, if somebody is investigating me and they come talk to Ricky, well, who's her boyfriend? I don't fucking know, and he will never know unless I decide to get married.
Know.
You know,
We ain't telling.
yeah.
We on top.
Yeah, I know you ain't gonna snitch, but it's just one of those things where the days come in, because if you start showing your girlfriends your man done bought y'all a house and this, that, and the third or whatever, all of a sudden, guess what? They gonna see your man with another woman somewhere else, and it might not even be him, just because they don't want you to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Talk about it. I
They-
gotta pause the mic
Right.
for that one.
So, I mean, I just think when you start putting shit like that on social media, you start creating
back.
your own problems. I have seen it happen. Girl, I done seen your man with such and such and such and such, blah, blah, blah. And next thing you know, y'all in the house arguing, and he like, who the fuck is that? And he really wasn't with nobody. But because your social media friends, girl, I got a picture, it looked just like him, and your mind start playing tricks, you like, that dude look like him. It's not him. You know what I'm saying? But
Look,
you,
this is the very reason
Yeah.
I always tell Jenny, like, we have very little pictures of us on social media.
it's
not
all
because
about the
I don't love
kids.
you.
Yeah, it's the kids.
It's because they have no business being a part
No
of what we do.
business in being
You'll
in
get
your
you'll get a status
relationship.
update to know that, hey,
Right.
it's been about a year. Here we are.
Yeah, we alive.
I see y'all
We
next year.
still here, right?
Yeah.
But
And it's worked
just-
out well.
But even
Keep that
social
shit
media has played a part in the Me Too movement, accusing men of things, you know, things that men been doing for years. Like, men have always walked down the street. You see a woman with a miniskirt on, you're gonna comment. Now all of a sudden he's going to jail for rape. You know,
And then-
he's a creep. But I think also what men need to do to protect themselves is you need to educate yourselves. Because a lot of men, and I just had to learn this a few years ago, a lot of men don't realize that if you go to kiss a woman and she pushes you away, that could be considered 4th degree rape.
Fourth degree.
Fourth degree, Jesus.
4th degree rape.
I knew there was fourth.
Right.
You lawman.
I'm studying law.
But guess what?
I'm studying.
But guess what? A lot of men,
I never heard that either.
You've had issues with your girlfriend. You trying to kiss her, she might be mad, and she like, no, don't kiss me. And you like, girl, come here. Now, if she want to go report you, that made me feel
say,
right.
real quick, to your point, real quick. I know of an individual within the Air Force, married.
Oh.
Fourth degree.
Did that
married.
happen?
No, it wasn't even 4th degree.
Got the fifth
Married. Him and his spouse got into a disagreement. Whatever the case is, they ended up having sex later on, a day, 2 days, whatever the case was. And then eventually they got divorced. It came out, she accused him of
Of rape.
2nd or 3rd degree rape because of the night that they got into the conflict and they ended up having sex. Now, it was more so him because, makeup sex.
Right.
That's what we call it
Right.
in normal society. And she participated,
Right.
but because there was that inkling
That she didn't-
wasn't really okay
Right.
with it, it came out that way.
Right.
And so, to your point, like you said, like you
gotta educate yourself.
You gotta be so careful.
If your wife pissed off at you and she ain't into it, just save the
I'm
makeup
going
sex for
outside.
another day. You know what I'm saying?
going outside.
But I think that will protect men a lot if you educate yourself and you learn what is and is not considered rape, what your woman can and cannot do. Even young boys, when they having sex with the girls and the girls like, okay, stop, and they don't,
I'm out.
that's rape. You know what I'm saying? Even if she changed her mind right before you bust a nut, that's rape. Even if she don't want to kiss you, that's rape. So a lot of men don't know these things.
Yeah, that's
They
true.
don't.
That's true. That's very
And
true.
when they end up in a courtroom, they like, I didn't rape her.
dating market
According
is
to
so
according to the law, you
weird,
did.
That's why if you find one today, you better hold on to
Stick
it.
to him.
You better hold on to it.
Dating
Hey,
market
hey.
is
I got three,
awkward, man.
He said he got three. He keeping.
That's gold couch energy. That's gold
That's
couch.
in love, though, bro. Because
Yes.
you like you said, you have to educate.
Mm-hmm.
We have to. We talk all this shit on our platform, right? We disagree, agree, whatever the case is.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, for men and
You
women,
wrapping this up.
it's all about education.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be smart. You gotta be wise about how you're approaching all relationships, all things that comes in that whole market. Whether you're a 35-year-old male or a 24-year-old woman, you got to know what you're getting into and what you're allowing yourself to be susceptible.
Right.
Also, there'll be a new podcast that not a new podcast, but a lesson on this podcast coming up here soon. How to approach a woman in 2021. We gonna talk about that one.
The new dating market.
Right.
Don't.
Yeah, me,
I don't think.
hey,
Look,
I-
I don't think
yeah.
you have. I don't think
Yeah.
you have enough time.
Hold a second. Hold up. Hold up. Hey, hey, that's an Easter egg for a future episode. That's an Easter egg for a future episode. Just dropping some dimes for y'all. Amber's not here, so let's do we're relationships. She sent one to the group chat. If y'all don't mind, I'll read it. Let's talk about it. Then we go from there.
Absolutely.
Sounds good? Nick, we'll start with you first. All right, so this is on Twitter. I caught my girlfriend cheating, but I'm afraid or I'm scared to confront her about it because she might kick me out of her apartment. Wait, hold a second. Hold on.
Bitch ass.
Maybe if I get her pregnant, she will love me more.
Oh my God. I
at
can't
Nick
do
Lyles.
this, bro. I can't do it.
At Nick Lyles, the floor is yours.
Our brother is lost. All right, our brother is lost. This man is lost. Listen, this goes back to square one, which is why women cannot be alphas in a relationship. This is what happens.
Is that disrespect?
This is that disrespect. This is what this is. Look, this man has been so disrespected that this is next level simpitude.
Oh God.
You know, maybe if I get her,
underlying.
maybe if, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead. Go. No.
It's so. Maybe if I get her pregnant, she'll love me more, bro. What?
That's
bro.
the reverse of what women used to
Yeah,
think
that's
back
the
in the day.
reverse of the baby mama. Maybe if I get
Right.
pregnant, he'll stick around.
That's the quickest way for him to run.
Bro, our brother is lost. This man has no male influences in life. This man has no friends.
No.
This man is lost. Don't.
Hold on. Pull up the IGs.
What, the video?
No, he
Who's
put
IGs? Who's IGs?
all the IG handles
For all of us. Yeah, go ahead.
because he needed to reach out to Nick Lyles and IG
Yeah, you
and
can.
follow for me. He needed to reach out to some what's that? Mentors.
Mentors.
Yes.
He needs to
Mentors.
reach out to
That
some
man-
people,
Yes.
whoever you are.
That man needs the manosphere.
He needs someone in his life to say, "Yo, you are valuable." Go ahead, Nick. I'm sorry, my bad, bro.
A lot of this is just that is men like you. I think over the last like 30 years, we've really had women have a movement where they've started to understand their value. Where women have come forth and say like, you know what, I am valuable. I bring value. I have value in this life, and that's beautiful. I'm glad
That's
that women.
dope.
I'm glad that women understand their value, right? But now, what we have is because women have taken a step forward. Because I think I'm not sure how you grew up, right? But I grew up growing up in Howard County, right? I saw a lot of like really
Shout out
like
to Howard County.
shout out Howard County, but I saw a lot of like female centric rhetoric, right? I saw a lot of girl power, a lot of girls are the future, a lot of girls are good at girls run the world. And like that shit's dope for girls, right? But as like a 7-year-old boy, I'm like, well, I guess I'll take a step back.
I'm
Like
just trying to make
there's no boys are the future, and it doesn't exist. And like we don't understand, like that's affecting young minds. Like it's like affecting young boys to the point where they do not understand their place in the world. They do not understand their place in society, right? So we have a lot of strong, powerful women who understand their value and their worth and what they bring to the table in their role. Great. But we have a lot, but because we put so much of an emphasis on women for the last 30 years, we have a bunch of boys in Arrested Development who are just completely lost.
I will agree.
Yeah, who have no idea what they're doing.
I blame their mamas, but go ahead.
Yeah, no idea what value they bring to the table.
Their
You know,
Mamas, their
that's a
fathers
whole
for not
other
being there too as
conversation.
well.
The father's not being there.
I
No,
will speak on that later.
lack of male role models. But this is the end result. The end result isn't anything getting better. The end result is everything just flipped.
Hey, you know what? Just talk more further on your point. How many times on media and TV you seen the man act like a fucking idiot?
A dummy,
Yeah,
fucking
dummy.
bumbling
First of
fool.
all,
Yeah,
Dwayne
bumbling
Wade.
fool. Nothing. Hold on a second.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
sorry. I said that out loud.
You got
I'm
a
my
Peter
bad.
Griffin. You got a Homer Simpson.
Yeah,
all that
yeah.
type.
And the
Even
wife
today
is-
in this in today 2021, and the woman is just the smartest thing you've seen out there.
Yeah.
Yes, us older, funny, laugh at that, keep it moving. Rick, Jet, a 7-year-old, Gigi, someone younger than that sees that as like, oh,
Well, that's the norm.
well, that's just what it is.
Well, my father plays dumb. He plays dumb because he just don't feel like being bothered.
But that's different. That's a strategy behind
Oh,
it.
okay.
That's
That
strategy.
nigga just
Hold
tired.
on.
Yeah, he just want me. Yeah, go ahead,
Hold on.
go ahead.
What are you postulating right now?
As far as
What are you
what?
postulating?
As far as what
far
the
as-
media had to play in this role,
What are you postulating right now?
Yeah, this
it's
is.
time to bring the balance back. It's bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm tired of seeing men look like idiots in media.
Yeah. I think what you look at, and I was doing an interesting conversation about this, right? And I've discussed this at other points, but it's like, if you look at like my dad's generation, right? They grew up with aspirational figures like James Bond. You know what I'm saying? Like all kids who were born in the 60s and 70s, they want to be James Bond. They want to be
Very
Luke Skywalker.
male-centric.
Yeah, want to be Luke Skywalker. They want to be men who were about something. But those men weren't self-serving. Those men were cool, they were smart, they were talented, but they were ultimately doing something for the greater good of their
Right.
community, of their country, of their planet, whatever.
true.
All male role models, while being cool guys, had a greater purpose, right?
Right.
And then what happened is somewhere around the mid-2000s, the male influence went from being James Bond to being Michael Cera. You know what I'm saying? It
Who
went
the
from
hell
being
is that?
the
You
kid
talking
from
Breaking
Super,
Bad?
Yeah, Super Bad.
No, Superbad. I'm
Super
sorry.
Bad.
It's
It
Superbad.
went
yeah.
from being a cool or Steve Carell in the 40-Year-Old Virgin or Homer Simpson. It went from being a cool guy, a cool leader, alpha kind of guy.
I got
was-
the answers. We saw through it. No
Yeah,
problem.
Exactly.
Follow me. We'll take us to the promised land.
Exactly, and I'm going to do this for the betterment of everyone, right?
Yeah, everybody
To-
eats.
To just like this bumbling idiot loser who went from bumbling idiot loser to when my generation grew up, it went to like the introverted nerd, soft spoken kind of guy became like that. Just became the archetype for who we were meant to be, right? And that's a result of pushing women forward. But the thing is, like, I think women said we want to get pushed forward, but the problem is not everyone can be at the front.
Right.
Somebody has to be at the back. So
Somebody's got to bend the knee.
the unintended consequences of pushing women forward is that men naturally there has to be less attention focused on boys, and that means less attention. That means those boys don't get the attention to become the men that women ultimately want. So now you have a bunch of career-driven, focused 20-year-old women, and women in their 20s who are like, oh, I'm a boss, babe. I know I'll do this. And they're like, where's my counterpart? Where's
Nick,
my husband? Give me one
Nick,
second, let me finish.
Nick.
And
No. Finish.
yeah,
But that's a different topic.
it is. It
So
all
just-
relates.
We're
Go
leading to
forward.
it's circling back to the whole alpha
Go
thing.
forward.
He's
but
cooking.
just
Let him
know
cook.
that-
Just let him cook. Let him cook.
Damn,
Yeah.
bro, that's
But the
That's
thing
tough.
is, what we've done is we've created these great women. But again, like we discussed earlier, women want someone who's a leader, someone who's someone to lead them, right? So we have a bunch of strong, great, intelligent, powerful women, but where are the men? The men got no push,
My
no
hand
prevalence.
raised.
The men are just fumbling and bumbling around.
I will say that unfortunately, I think a lot of that became when a lot of women became single mothers.
Yeah.
Because women raise their daughters and they baby their sons.
Yes.
So when you have not all single mothers, let me put that disclaimer out there. So when you have some women raising men, well, you cannot raise a boy to be a man because you're not one. That's one. But when you have
Facts.
women
Talk about it.
raising little boys, I see a lot of times that women, they will baby their sons, and they will make their sons into their man
Yeah.
ooh.
in a certain type
house
of way.
husband.
The house.
So
the son husband.
right, the son husband. So he can't go out here and be a leader and be somebody's husband because you so busy keeping him as your son husband. So it kind of creates a conflict in him being in a leadership role because now he relies on mama to be his thought, his brain. And if it comes to a woman, is mama gotta approve of that woman, and 9 times out of 10 when it comes to boys, ain't no woman out here good enough for their boys.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you have the mother interceding in every aspect of their lives, so you don't have men. You do have men. You do have
son
the same
husbands.
right. You got that same little boy. Now he grown, and he trying to be a man to somebody else, but he never became a man. So I think that is the problem where we became it. I totally agree with you that we have played too much attention. We should pay attention to young women because at the end of the day, you do want to raise young women to be self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Women.
Smart, yeah.
Smart, educated,
Got you.
know how to run their household. If they're single, know how to do things on their own. But at the end of the day, we also do have to pay a lot of attention to boys because me personally, if I had to look at the pool of guys out here that I'm looking at for my daughter, I'm like, girl, you fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
They all, or
Yeah.
you fucked or they 40.
Yeah, you fucked. Or
Yeah.
they
Or they
they
40.
too old to be with you. So it's just a thing of
That's why old heads out here winning.
I
Yeah.
never.
They're winning.
Because they know how to be a man.
Veronica, I never, and I got a 10-year-old daughter. I never looked at it.
like that. Yeah,
No
I
cap.
do.
Yo,
And I think
because the environment that we're creating,
Yeah.
I'm breeding her, not me personally. You know what I'm saying? But like, all she's going to look towards is an environment of someone of that stature.
right.
That's it. That's
Right.
it. If you're not providing at that level, as a, when she comes to 18, 19, that's what she's going to come into. That's, I am like,
It's fucked.
I'm not even like,
Yeah, we're fucked.
But those
the
are
mind
things.
is blown.
Those
Now,
are
Veronica,
things.
Veronica, last thought. We're gonna wrap it up from there.
But those are things
That's
that,
tough.
as a woman raising a young lady, these are things that I do teach my daughter. Who you end up with life determines a lot of things about you, where you live, how your children are raised, what school they go to, what kind of car you're going to drive, if you're going to be able to travel the world. We do teach our daughters that. But at the end of the day, I don't think there's enough mothers out here teaching their boys who you are as a man determines what type of woman you get, which
Facts.
determines what type of lifestyle you have.
Talk about it.
So I think that as a community, especially men, you know, I hate to put this on y'all, but as men, y'all got to start getting in these streets and snatching these little boys up.
So it's on us.
Hey, you know what?
It's not all on y'all.
No, but the return of the man needs to come back.
It does.
Wherever it's at, sporting events.
Return of the man.
Return. Hey.
But it's a thing where I grew up in a generation in a neighborhood where
there was an old head
men,
there.
right? Old men would always talk to the boys. You know, they would teach them. You know, you be outside, you might throw a rock at a girl. He'd be like, "Man, come here, let me say, don't do that," and he would tell you why. You know, you treat a woman a certain way, but you had old men doing that. Now you don't have them doing that. So it's not all on y'all, but it is a responsibility that men need to start taking again, because not every young man has a respectable male figure in their life, and it shows when they get older.
On next week's
Hey, we will leave it at that for right now. Round of applause. Round of fucking applause.
On next week's
Clap it up for us.
Hit him with the clap.
I already hit him with the clap. They should have perfect too as well. Hey, we'll go around the room. First of all, excellent podcast tonight. All y'all came through and delivered. We're going to start with Dev. Hey, one lesson of love for the people.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
Gotta get your mind straight.
I am just like, yo, hold on. My whole energy, like,
Keep that energy for the seasides.
Buzzing.
Look, my whole energy, like, y'all heard me say it. Yo, I was super excited about what we had, like, lined up. We didn't speak a word, but I was like, yo, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling everyone's, like, energy. Like, yo, y'all, no cap, right? On camera. It's like, yo.
He Nick Cannon over here.
Yo.
No camera, NC, no condom.
NC-17, NC-17 kid.
I'm the closest nigga to Nick Cannon energy in this room. Because you know why?
These are facts.
I got 5. Whatever the case is. But look.
Only 12 off.
Hey, what's your lesson, man? What you got for us?
Look. At the end of our days in this podcast, the one thing we're going to always take from it is learn, right? There's a certain point where if there's a certain point where you have to understand. You got to step outside of you as the individual to be able to learn.
Yeah.
In the outside realm. You know what I'm saying? It's so weird, but it's so common, but common sense isn't common.
Right.
The reason why we had this podcast is because we want to offer perspective that's outside of just the male or the woman perspective. You got to learn from all of this stuff. And that's what we offer. That's what we do. Tonight, I am like so juiced. I'm all over the place. I'm happy. But that's what we offer. That's what we do. Everyone's happy. Everyone's fucking contributing. That's what it is. Lessons in Love is not about us. It's about y'all. What are you taking in the camera? What are you taking from tonight's lesson? Peace out. Nick, what you got?
What I got? One, I want to shout out everyone in the chat. I want to shout out Veronica for being here. Thank you for coming. Oh my gosh,
2 weeks in a row,
2 weeks in a row. Fucking consistent contributor, Veronica. Great opinions, great takes. Woo! 6 man like Lou Will. 2, 3 girls here like getting along like a Lou Will.
Yo, straight up.
Listen, but anyway, I was shout out to my 3 girlfriends. But yeah, anyway, great pod, great lessons of love, great episode. Shout out everyone for being here. Lessons I'll leave y'all with. It's just like I always say this, but just like I think men need to lean into being men, and women need to lean into being women. And I think everything that we've seen in the last 30 years has tried to divide that for the sake of consumerism. Because you can see if you can
making money off the black dollar.
Oh yeah, if you can keep men and women apart, That's two people instead of paying one mortgage and building wealth. That's two people paying y'all rent and building your own wealth.
Been
Divide
doing
and
that since
conquer.
been doing that since 1608.
Yep.
Been doing it, divide and conquer, right? And it's not just black people now; it's everybody. But I look out. I mean, like we talked about male influence, right? I look on TikTok. All the TikTok stars, Joe Biden has some dude in the White House wearing 3-inch nails, clacking on the keyboards. That's
We
what.
ain't gonna
That's
do
what. That's how.
We ain't gonna do that. I'm saying, talk about it.
I'm not.
You say it,
and
but
I'm not
just
talking
saying,
about
like,
him personally, right? But I'm talking, and if that's how he wants to live his life, then cool. But I'm talking about the broader social narratives that we're attempting to promote to our children, right?
True.
It's attempted to promote, we've gotten to the space about non-binaryism, gender fluidity, and I'm not saying that those certain people that there aren't people who want to ascribe to that, who want to live their life that way. If you do, that's your choice, right? But I think what we do need to recognize is that for the broad majority of people, is that that may not be the best conducive way to live your life.
men and women matter.
Men and women matter, and that like if you want to lean in, like in that we should accept that we should look at our roles, understand our roles, and understand that those roles are complementary to each other.
Facts.
Okay.
Understand that men are meant to build, women are meant to nest, men are meant to protect, women are meant to nurture. These are things that work.
Facts.
These are things that are symbiotic in nature, and that ultimately lead to the best outcomes for children and for community. So that's all I got to say. Pay attention to what people are trying to do. Pay attention to the fact that people are trying to keep men away from women, women away from men. Try to keep men scared of women. That's the MGTOW movement. Try to keep women scared of men. That's the Me Too movement. All that shit is just to keep us scared of each other.
And random donations.
Bullshit.
That's all it
Yep.
is. That's all it is. That's all it ever will be.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got to say. If I offended any non-binary people or any people with gender dysphoria or anything, I don't mean it may have come across a weird way. If it did, my bad. But I'm just saying, for the most people, you just lean into your strengths.
You shouldn't
That's all I
have
got
to do that.
Right. Okay, my lessons in love, after we've talked about everything tonight, my first lesson in love is being true to yourself.
Facts.
If, like Dev said earlier, and asked me the question, who's responsible for my happiness? It is me. I believe when you are true to yourself, you learn what your true happiness is. You know how to make yourself happy, and in turn, you can make your partner happy.
True.
And they will return that to you. Also, another lesson in love I have is the thing of, with being true to yourself, is do whatever works for you. If being with 3 women and having
Man, we ain't naming no names, though.
if having 8 children by multiple women is what makes you happy, as long as you are able to maintain that lifestyle
Resources.
without causing the other person any strife, then that's what makes you happy, and that's what life is all about. And my last lesson in love is to always learn yourself before you go out and try to be with someone else. If you don't know who you are, then how are you going to be with someone else? If you don't know who you are, then you are in a position to cause someone else strife in their life and to ruin their lives, and you are ruining them for the next person if they aren't meant for you. So, honesty, being true to yourself, and learn who you are before you try to be with someone else. That's it.
Facts.
I guess it's on me.
Yep.
Real quickly, bring back those Instagram handles. Y'all take a look at it. Round of applause for everybody in here.
Yay.
Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. The virtual round of
Tonight was a
applause
good
going on.
night.
It was a fantastic night.
It was.
Shout out to Alan, our boy Alan Dev, for the visuals,
Lord
the
have
overlays. Hey,
That
let's
guy.
round of applause for him too as well.
Give it up.
Absolutely.
Y'all
Alan,
don't understand
the work.
real quick.
Go ahead, take it over. I'll take it
Y'all
back.
don't understand, man. Like the behind the scenes that goes on into making each podcast happen. Not just Lessons in Love, but just all, what a effing week. Yo, there's some individuals, Alan is the primary.
He'll be tagging this video.
He is amazing. But there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make every week and every show happens. Shout out to my man Alan because he is killing the game right now. Killing the game. He gets it done for us. And that shit is solid. Solid work. All the visuals.
All the logos you've seen. BNY, Lessons to Love, that all comes from Alan. He works well, he works fast, and it's at a reasonable price too as well.
Absolutely. We wouldn't be here where we are right now without Alan. We'll say that.
For sure. And I'm tagging this video that he gets more business. Shout out to Marcus in the Man Cave. He did work for them too as well. So, and other podcasts and other interested artists that need some work done from him. But back to me. So the whole reason for Lessons in Love is kind of like what Veronica, Nick, Dev alluded to tonight, is that there's a lot less balance when it comes to relationships. Veronica's looking at who could be at certain individual that could maybe take her daughter's hand in marriage one day. Dev, with everything you're going to your kids to as well, you're looking at how to raise a man in today's world. Learn about fourth degree rape today too as well. Something we didn't even know about.
I learned something today.
Exactly. So we're here to teach lessons. We're here to learn too as well. And if you have something to teach us, we're here to be receptive to that. So if I can't say it, one love to everybody here on the pod. I appreciate y'all. Bring that logo in. Y'all been fantastic in the comment section. Restream over 100 viewers. Excellent podcast. Guests, Veronica, Dev, Nick. I can't say nothing but love for y'all. So we run back next Wednesday.
Absolutely.
And until then,
one.
Bye.
Bring that intro back in.
Just put your sweats on for me. Yeah. I got the plug, I made the call for me. I'm talking late night for you. Let me lay a great time on you. Don't hesitate, no, don't you? Just say you will. Come through and chill. Just say you will.